Podcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Hi, this is Leo Laporte, and this is my Tech Guy podcast. This show originally aired on the Premier Networks on Saturday, December 10th, 2022. This is episode 1951. Enjoy. The Tech Guy podcast is brought to you by Adige, the only Apple device management platform that combines MDM with live agent capabilities to manage and secure your Apple ecosystem. Visit Adige.com/twit for a free 14-day trial. See how Adige helps you manage your Apple devices in real time. If you purchase by December 31st, you'll get 10% off your first year. Thanks for listening to this show as an ad-supported network. We are always looking for new partners with products and services that will benefit our qualified audience. Are you ready to grow your business? Reach out to advertise at twit.tv and launch your campaign now. Oh, ho, ho. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, 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 as one is wont to say. It's me, your tech guy, Leo, on the radio, and it's time for Talkin' Tech with my friend Micah Sargent, also in studio, but not dressed appropriately for the season.
Oh, no. Ho,
okay,
ho, ho.
Now you put that hat on. Now it's a hard hat because there's stuff inside. There's a button in the front.
In the front, okay.
It's just left, front, right. There's
front,
just
right.
feel on the ermine.
I think I found it.
On the ermine trim. No, that's a battery. A little farther forward.
Okay.
On the ermine trim on the front, right.
There we go.
And now your hat is dancing and singing.
And jingle belling too.
Yes.
It's quite a thing.
That drives the dog absolutely bonkers. This is the show where we talk about high tech, not low tech. That's low tech. High tech. 8888 Ask Leo. That's the phone number. You can dial 8888 Ask Leo and Micah. It will work, but it's a lot more buttons. So it's not necessary. Website techguylabs.com has the answers to all the questions you might have. Micah puts that up there with all the links to the things we talked about. He puts video there, audio from the show, even a transcript written by a not-so-intelligent computer. Not as intelligent as ChatGPT. We should really ask ChatGPT to summarize the show.
Yeah, could you please summarize the show for me?
I wonder if it could do it. Can't do that. It could do it with older shows because they stopped training it last spring.
Well, so what you could do is, because I've actually done something similar, I would take all of my show notes that I had collected for the show, and I would say, give me a summary of a show that talks about these headlines, and then you paste the headlines.
How'd it work?
And then it would work. So I haven't done it with a show, but what I have done is there was an article I needed to read pretty quick, and it was a long one. I pasted the article in, and I said, can you give me a bullet point summary? And it knocked out 5 bullet points. It gave me the things that I needed to know for that piece.
I think this is going to be really useful in ways, but we're just now starting to understand. We're talking about an artificial intelligence. Mm-hmm. Don't think of it as human. It's certainly not sentient. It doesn't know it exists. It's just a machine, but it's a machine that is so sophisticated that you can interact with it in strange ways. We read poetry last week.
We did.
Limericks
yes.
and stuff. It's called ChatGPT, and for a limited time, it's available for free. I don't think it's going to last much longer. The CEO of the company that makes it, OpenAI, which is a nonprofit, I should say, but is well funded by Elon Musk, among others. Mm-hmm. The CEO, Sam Altman, said the costs are eye-watering, and I have seen. Well, somebody asked Google, why don't you do this? And Google said, oh, no, you don't understand. The cost of doing this kind of thing is 10 times or more the cost of their virtual assistant, their voice assistant.
Holy moly.
It's very expensive computationally. Mm-hmm. And, we don't think of the fact that when you do a Google search, for instance, it costs money to Google. So because it goes to a server, the server uses electricity. They estimate that every Google search costs Google a couple of pennies. Every chat GPT query might cost $1. Imagine millions and millions of dollars flowing.
Wow.
So at some point they're going to say, "Oh, we got to stop."
They need to lock it behind credits or something like that.
They do that with their
DALL-E,
their image generator. Of course, you can run these things, DALL-E anyway, in effect, with Stable Diffusion. You can run it on your own computer. Mm-hmm. Bring the costs home. as it were, for the holidays. But and it's not going to be that expensive. But you need a fancy computer. That's what's expensive with a NVIDIA GPU and all of that. Anyway, it's kind of fun to play with. Speaking of Elon, did you see they're auctioning off?
Oh dear,
they're auctioning off the Twitter stuff, all of the
swag,
everything, stoves, chairs. It's kind of a remarkable collection of stuff on this auction house.
The espresso machines?
Lots of espresso machines.
What? The employees aren't going to be able to have espresso anymore?
Oh no! In
That's
fact,
not
they closed the cafeteria, so a lot of this is coming out of the cafeteria. Their Eames chairs, their sculptures. I wonder if he'll sell the sink that he brought when he started when he came in. It's really kind of remarkable. Now, unfortunately, because it's an auction, all the bids appear to be $25. They're not going to stay that way. The auction doesn't go online until January 17th. It's one day, though. Put that in your calendar. Auction starts January 17th, 7 a.m. Pacific, ends January 18th, 10 a.m. Pacific. It's 27 hours to buy Twitter's Rock the Bike Fender Pro Recharge Station or at Sculpture Planter.
What? Oh, boy.
Or their La Marzocco Strada 3 AA semi-auto espresso machine. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 espresso machines. Good ones, They're all from La Marzocco, which I think is probably a good fancy. And then they also have a bunch of burger grinders. You got to have a burger grinder. They have a Waring heavy-duty blender. The Burkle 330M STD manual flywheel slicer with stand.
I saw that. Yeah, I'm getting that one.
What does it slice?
I assume meat. I think you put meat on it.
That you have to turn the handle?
Oh, wait, no. This is like, okay, never mind. I thought this was...
I don't know what it is. I'm looking at it.
Oh, yeah, meat and cheese slicer, it says.
It is, but you have to... It's like you have to turn the handle. It's not
electrical.
It's not electric.
I guess it's safer, huh? You're kind of in charge. You don't run the risk.
You keep your hand away from
slicer.
the thing. Yeah, a Hobart Legacy floor mixer. I would love to have that in my
That'd
house.
be super cool.
Could make 800 pounds of cheese bologna. I don't know. A Blodgett BCX 14G double full-size combi oven.
Oh, they got a Blodgett.
They got a Blodgett, man. It was sad. There was a tweet from the cafeteria company that had been feeding Twitter employees for the last decade saying, well, it's been great. Bye.
Oh.
So Elon put in bedrooms in the conference room, but he took the kitchen out.
I saw that, and I saw that there was there may be an investigation because the building is coded as a workplace. So to have apartments,
they're just worried about it being safe. It is zoned for a hotel, so you could.
Oh, it is zoned for a hotel.
Yeah, zoned for a hotel, so you could, I guess. I don't know.
There's also an industrial-sized salad spinner, which, if there's one thing
How big is it? Industrial size?
Yeah, 20 gallons worth of. They call it a vegetable
lot
dryer,
of lettuce.
but it's a salad spinner.
As they say in Vegas, that's a lot of lettuce.
A lot of lettuce.
According to Tesla's lawyers, Tesla is being sued by many, 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 many people because you might remember that they offered full self-driving. In fact, I paid $5,000 for it on my Model X, never got it. They're still charging, only it's $15,000 now for the full self-driving capability. But they haven't shipped it. No Tesla on the road today is capable of full self-driving. It's hard to do. Elon's been promising it for 6 years. In fact, I don't know if you remember this. A couple of years ago, he said, by the end of 2020...
I remember
there'll be 1 million Tesla robo-taxis on the road that customers could make up to $30,000 a year hiring them out. And your car will go up in value because of that. You could turn it into a taxi while you're sleeping, and it just goes out and picks up people and drives them somewhere, and you don't even have to do anything. Never did that. So he's being sued because people paid a lot of money for that feature. Tesla's lawyers said it's not fraud. It's a mere failure to realize a long-term aspirational goal.
Now, when you signed up for it, did it have all that sort of...
No, it didn't say, hey, this is an aspirational goal. We may never offer it.
Essentially a Kickstarter.
Yeah. A bad Kickstarter,
right.
One that never delivers. No, it should have said something like, if we ever come up with this, you'll be able to get it. What it does say is you could pay $5,000. and this is now 15, I should say, but to me, this was many years ago, 6 years ago when I bought my Model X. $5,000 now, or if you don't order it now, it's going to cost you even more because we'll have to retrofit your car. And that never happened. That never happened.
So where's that money going? Do you get it back?
Have you heard that Elon is the richest man in the world?
Oh,
He's actually the
I see.
second richest man in the world.
So you bought Twitter.
Yeah, I bought Twitter.
Got it.
You don't get the money back. No. You don't get the money back. That's why they're suing.
Okay. Well, good. I'm glad they're suing then.
There is the plaintiffs include a 2016 video that is still on the site, by the way.
The video is the plaintiff?
No.
Oh, okay.
The plaintiff entered into evidence. Your Honor, I would like to play this video here.
Got it.
From 2016 that purports to show a Tesla driving itself through the streets of Palo Alto autonomously. The video, before the video rolls, with the Rolling Stones painted black for some reason, as the background music, a message reads, this is from the LA Times, the person in the driver's seat is only there for legal reasons. He's not driving anything. The car is driving itself. Tesla workers later revealed the video was fabricated.
Oh, my goodness.
Done in multiple takes, and they cut out the driving system's failures, including a crash into a fence. The video is, you can watch it now on the Tesla website, implying that, no, look, it's driving itself. It drives itself.
Where are you reading this from? Because I'd like to.
I will give you a link to the LA Times, the Los Angeles Times business from 12/8. How about that? That's where I'm reading it from. Great story. Well, not so great if you bought it like I did. But at the time, I kind of knew. I think there's a certain thing you kind of know. Like I also, the air filtration system, he calls it a bioweapon defense system. It's got the biological hazard logo on it. And I have to say, when the fires were going on up here, the wildfires, I did get in my car and drive around. It was nice. But it was just a HEPA filter. It wasn't anything bioweapon defense. And I kind of knew. I even said, probably said it out loud on this show. I believe in Elon's vision for electrifying vehicles, for making the world a better place. And I don't mind kind of kicking in a little bit, because the whole plan for Tesla was we're going to charge a lot for these early luxury vehicles so that we can make an affordable electric vehicle.
Okay. So you were sort of investing,
buying into the hype. Mm-hmm. And by the way, the affordable electric vehicle, no. Even the Model 3 is like, I think it starts at 40,000 or maybe 35, but they never really got to that point. So that's another thing that never never happened.
And somebody's got to have a list somewhere, like the sites that Google has killed, the services that Google has killed. It's just all of Elon's lies. Oh,
that's a good site. Somebody do that. Yeah. Elon's lies, but you'll get taken down from Twitter. Are you ready for that? Let's see what else.
All right, I need to go buy it.
Is big in the news. There's lots of news,
Lots of news out there.
I have to pick and choose the news.
Right.
In fact, that's the name of this news segment.
Pick and choose.
Leo's pick and choose news. Pick and pull the news. Oh, why did it log me out? I can't pick and pull if I'm not logged in. I want to talk a little bit about something you have used. In fact, you turned me on to, called Lensa.
Ah, yes.
This is, so we were mentioning DALL-E and there's a big movement towards artificial intelligence image generation. You've probably seen all the hype around that. Well, you can now do it on your iPhone. Mm-hmm. It's not free. They have some free, I think. But so I ended up paying a few bucks.
Yeah. So Lensa is made by the Prisma Labs folks who made that very popular Prisma app.
Which I used and loved. Great photo editing app.
They have basically worked out a way to make a custom Stable Diffusion model for people, spin up a Stable Diffusion instance, and then crank out some images of them. So it's a rather pricey thing to do, going into AWS.
It was like
and making
35. Yeah, remember we just talked about it.
It's pricey for them, so it doesn't surprise me that it's between $4 to $20 or something like that to be able to generate these photos.
So I generated. I paid I think $35 for a year's subscription, and then it was $3.99 to generate 100 photos. I think I spent $7.99 for 200 photos, and it gives you all styles like mystical, science fiction. Stylish. You give it 20 headshots, 20 selfies, and it does that.
Yeah, they've worked out so that's one of the big things about using any of these art generation is knowing what to say to get good art out of it. And behind the scenes, Lensa has worked out what they need to do to get these photos that look photorealistic in some ways.
This looks like me, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I did that myself, and it's nice. There's a couple of like shots where there's a little bit of, cheesecake. I wish I looked like some of these cheesecakey guys, muscular, a bare chest, that kind of thing. But
Wait, what was the one with your hand on your shoulder or on your chin? It's up right above
there. This one?
Yeah. What is that one?
Bond. James Bond. What's the thing behind me?
Oh, who knows?
Anyway, I'm going to tell you why I don't like this and why you should be careful about this. But we have to take a break because Laura is playing the music. 8888 Ask Leo. Your call's next. I don't think I can show the Lisa pictures.
Oh, please don't. We can at least can we describe them in
it's
uncertain terms?
It's kind of appalling.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So I guess the point I'm making is it's a little sexist because you can say whether you're male or female after you submit the pictures and then it generates. So my male pictures, it's all here's a little cheesecakey one. That doesn't even look like me.
No, that's not your
Although
face.
that is my chest.
Right, yeah.
So that's a little cheesecakey, but there's only a couple of, I don't know who that is either. That's me as a young man. These are not, I don't know who that is. I think it's Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm not sure. It looks more like you, doesn't it? That looks like me.
You, for sure.
Yeah, and obviously I took my shirt off.
Right. You're on the beach.
I'm on the beach. But I can't even show you the ones it did to my wife.
Can't.
They are so ridiculously sexistly sexy.
Uh-huh.
I'll tell you, every single picture of my wife is enhanced, anatomically enhanced, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to put it.
She had a boob job.
3 of them.
It's shockingly bad.
It's awful. And, that's not the only thing. People with skin that is darker than mine, when they post their photos, oftentimes it will come back with a lightened.
They're white.
Yeah, they're white or they're brown.
It's what they've trained on. And so obviously they're using Stable Diffusion. It's been trained on sexy pictures of women and not so sexy pictures of men.
And something that Anthony told me, he had been reading about it, the Stable Diffusion 1 point blah, 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 it was trained with a lot of not safe for work imagery.
Oh, that explains it.
They came out with Stable Diffusion 2.0. They had the system go in and remove not safe for work imagery, and it was terrible at generating bodies at that point.
Yeah.
So they're trying to find a balance because the having those not safe for work images provided what the machine learning needed to create bodies. You take that out, and suddenly you've got 9 arms and all sorts of weirdness. And so it's hard to find a balance because at the same time that's going on, they're going, how can we have this not safe for work imagery in a same machine learning model that has children in it? That those two things shouldn't be in the same bucket.
There's all sorts of and apparently to do black people, they had to lose a lot of white people images. There are very few people of color, I guess, in the training set. So it's turning people white.
Yep.
I noticed that when we tried to make our Christmas card. And
it was always
white.
Shaded white.
Yeah. Weird. Just weird. So
I mean, mine ended up, and I guess they've got more brown people, or they're able to sort of estimate according to that. Where mine ended up turning out okay for the most part.
They say Lens is trying to get rid of the nudes, and I think that there are no actual nudes of Lisa, unless you talk about her brass body, which is definitely naked.
There was, I was going to say there was one where
she's nude in that.
Yeah.
That one, she's nude. That's nude, right?
That's definitely nude.
Good tan.
Yeah. I guess there could be a silk shift on, but I don't think so.
No. So these are some, the thing, it's even less than, it's not even that, because even the non-nude pictures, there's lots of cleavage.
Right. Yeah. So we're not even going as far as just saying, oh, it just made her nude. Even in the ones where it wasn't that, it increased and it was bad.
I'll give you here's a
so
safe, relatively safe for work example. This is supposed to be a painting, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they all have a lot of cleavage. That's mild. So I just feel like it's not right.
No.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Oh, it's too hot to trot now, babe. Now, I wouldn't have played this song, but I guess it's okay if Professor Laura plays this song.
Laura,
Is there a phone in this in some way?
Probably not.
No.
What does it mean to trot?
Stop it.
I'm going to learn. I'm going to look it up.
Kim Schaffer, the unbreakable phone angel. Hello, Kim.
I think she was going off of the too hot to trot photos that you were just
Of my
showing.
wife.
I guess.
So there is a certain So this is the problem with AI, and boy, it's really important people understand this. It only can do what it's been trained on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to give you a chance to try this. I need 20, just your face selfies.
Of me?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
10 to 20.
If you want to do it on your phone, that's fine.
You know what I'll do is I'll come in and I'll take 20 pictures real quick.
Oh, they don't like that, though.
They don't?
If they're very similar,
They have to be all
the
different.
system will say,
I'll give you the professional headshot I have.
I need 20,
yeah,
10
you have
to
to
20.
have a lot of them. So.
But but let's do it as an experiment from the neck up. I don't want to see anything, right? And we'll just
wearing
see.
a turtleneck, so you're not getting much.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, this AI, so it's what it's been trained on. And it's the same thing with people of color, for instance, because it's mostly been trained on white people. It doesn't do people of color very well.
Well, I've been curious, but I'm notorious for never paying for an app.
Yeah.
And also, once that Cambridge Analytica thing happened years ago, I just don't really do any of those
The
things.
Lensa, the company that owns Lensa says and they even say this when you submit the selfies, it says, as soon as these images are generated, we delete your pictures.
Right.
They don't keep them.
No, they literally. So the Washington Post did a really good kind of deep dive into it, and they spin up an AWS instance, which is it's a little server somewhere. They do the thing, and then they throw that away because holding on to it would cost them so much money. So it's not even worth it for them to keep.
Yeah, they don't
It's
want to
like
save
a virtual shredder.
it.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
See, I don't mind doing it, and probably you shouldn't either, Micah, because our pictures
Are already-
people have know
Oh,
what
yeah.
we look like.
Well.
You, Kim, no, they know what you look like.
I mean, you're
You
on
can
Instagram,
Google me
so
too.
yeah, you're on.
I'm not anonymous.
but if you
that's
didn't
for
have
sure.
pictures in public, I guess it'd be all right. You wouldn't.
It
want
is
to do that.
amazing how many people I Google and there's not a single picture of them. I'm like, how have you kept yourself off the internet this long?
I know. In hindsight, that seems like it was a good idea.
It's impressive.
Yeah, like they knew what they were doing. I doubt that was
I don't
what
think
happened.
they did. I think
Yeah.
they just lead very different lives.
All right. Well, we've wasted so much time on this that I don't really want to take a call with 30
Okay.
seconds left. So, who should I take when we get back?
Let's go to Jeff in Upland,
Good.
California
Okay.
when you come back.
All right.
Well, no, actually, aren't you going somewhere else when we come
Is
back?
Scott Wilkinson here? I don't know. If he's here, we will do Scott Wilkinson, talk about home theater. And Jeff from Upland will be our first call. Thank you, Kim Schaffer. Thank you, everybody, for putting up with us. This is, after all, our penultimate weekend. Leo Laporte, Micah Sargent, your tech guys. Yeah, Scott's in the chat.
Scott's in the chat.
Oh, the Scott's in the chat and the silver spoon.
Guess
A
what,
big screen
what
TV.
the song's about, right?
Well, all I can see is that Trot is firstly something that a horse does,
It's about horses.
and secondly, it is about
A horse that can't
loose stool.
Trot, the trots. That's different from you're too hot to trot. I think too hot to trot means the horse is sweaty and has been working really hard and they don't want to make it trot.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the horse is too hot to trot, baby. That's the original song, the folk song.
Everyone is
In
absolutely.
the original folk song, the horse.
It was a folk song.
No, I'm kidding.
You-
You believe
You know
it?
what?
You
I don't
believe
know
what I'm
why.
saying?
It's because I'm half paying attention to you because I'm
Is that your
trying to
excuse?
gather some photos of Kim.
What does
on
it
her-
mean,
from her
Laura?
Instagram.
What does it mean, too hot to trot?
Yeah, Laura. Oh.
It's sexual innuendo.
Oh, well, then I was looking at the wrong
Oh,
site.
I am shocked.
I need to go to
shocked, I tell you.
Urban Dictionary.
Urban Dictionary. Hold me closer, tiny Dan. So I should show just you I wish I could show just you these pictures. But if I put this on the air, it would bite me. Well, Lisa would anyway. It's horrible what they did. I was really disappointed. I gave them good, clean. I have plenty of pictures of Lisa from the neck up. I gave them good stuff, and they gave me crap. I would not use this as a woman. I think you'd be offended.
But we're gonna try it with Kim.
I would not use this as a woman except for Kim.
Got it.
Are you trying it?
I am getting
You're gonna
photos
get 20
of Kim
images of her
with
neck up.
Her, I would say with her. Not. I don't know if it's permission so much as encouragement. So that's good. She says, hey,
we're gonna pay
head to
for
Facebook.
it.
Yeah.
I like this one. Doesn't look like me. I told Lisa, should I grow a beard? She said, if you looked like that, yeah. I don't know what I'm wearing there or there. That is not me. Destroy that. That is a flop. These look a lot like me, I would say. Yes.
Yeah. I love there's one where you've got headphones that are kind of built into you.
That's me and Patton Oswalt.
With a tiny little cape. It's very adorable.
Cape. The glasses are not, it does a bad job with glasses. That looks like me if I were in Twin Peaks as Kyle MacLachlan.
Oh, yeah.
That's the Kyle MacLachlan me. You like that one? Oh, let's not go to Lisa's. Long white beard, super tan. This one? This one? The Ernest Hemingway model?
That's pretty good.
That's the Ernest Hemingway Leo.
You look so serious.
That's the elderly Yanni Leo. Oh, jeez. That's the orchestra conductor Leo.
There you go.
Oh, a little goatee. How about
That's
that?
Artist Leo.
Artist Leo. That's Jesus Leo.
Uh-huh. I say you look like a saint there. You really do.
Oh.
It's like, what miracle?
I like this one because it's got pens around it. I don't know why. It's like the artist walked away from his easel. Hey, the Tech Guy podcast brought to you this week by Adige. All right, Mac folks. Actually, the best client for Adige, I would say, is a big shop, an IT shop that has a mix of Windows and Macs, right? And iPhones and Android phones. Adige helps you do more than just manage those Apple devices. Maybe you don't even I don't know if I can manage them. I don't want to. Adige is the only fully cloud-based multi-tenant Apple MDM platform designed for scalability. Because they're hyper-focused on Apple, they do the job, so you don't have to. They even have, this is so cool, they have live agent capabilities, so you can have your users chat with a live agent and get themselves set up. You get all the features, functionality, and flexibility you need to customize and manage your Apple devices how you want. That way, your Apple's infrastructure is optimized to best support your environment, to help your team be as productive as possible every day. If you're all Apple, that's great. If you just have some Apples and you just don't want to be troubled, this is a great company to go to. They simplify IT management for Apple by creating a solution that's so flexible, so customizable, any IT team can use it to easily maintain and secure the Apple devices in their managed networks. Adige, A-D-D-I-G-Y. They help you ensure every Apple device, Macs, iPhones, iPads, secure, supported, and ready to scale. The zero-touch deployment is one of the really great features. You get your new members onboarded securely in under 5 minutes, and you don't have to, get your hands dirty. It's fantastic. Secure authentication with trusted providers eliminates security gaps with tested, authenticated features your users love and can rely on. You get real-time device monitoring, automated remediation. You can manage your devices in real time and resolve those issues automatically before they cause downtime. That's the ideal, right? They also have completely custom compliance features. So whatever your compliance needs, you'll have a peace of mind knowing your Apple infrastructure is always compliant and always up to date. Complete self-service capabilities means you and your IT team are freed from endless reset requests. I forgot my password, all that stuff. 24/7 user access to resources and applications, and the users can do it themselves. In most cases, that's what they'd rather do. They don't want to bug you. You get patch management, very important, right? Prevent delays, fix bugs early, minimize downtime by rolling out new updates and patches ASAP. It's easy to customize and scale to meet any need and adapt to any environment with fast, free, catered migration. It's an MDM tool that works as hard as you do. They say at the speed of now. I love that. One user said, quote, and this is talking about Adige, quote, we were able to tap into economies of scale and optimize common tasks for all clients and environments. We estimate this will reduce the time our team dedicates to MDM management by at least 30% every week. Every week. It's creating happier team members and allowing us to more effectively secure our managed endpoints. Get started today with Adige's award-winning support. When you partner with Adige, you get white glove support from a team of experts who live, eat, and breathe Apple. They care about your success as much as you do. You're going to love Adige, and it guarantee your Apple success with Adige. Start your free 14-day trial at ADDIGY, Adige.com/twit. If you buy by the end of the year, before December 31st, you get 10% off your first year. Whole year. Wow. So hurry. Don't wait. Visit Adige.com/twit today. You have time to do the 2-week trial and then get a 10% off for the rest of the year. I would do that right now. Adige.com/twit. We thank Adige so much for their support. Quite literally. We also thank them for helping us out on the Tech Guy Show. You help us when you use that address. Adige.com/twit. Now back to the show. I'll tell you, if you think you know, it's Scott Wilkinson. That's Mr. Hip. He's on a hip trip. Joins us every week. He is the perfect Santa. He's got the white beard and all. How did Tuba Christmas go?
Well, Tuba Christmas went great without me.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I was tremendously sick. I was really, really sick.
It's going around, I'll tell you.
It wasn't COVID, I'm happy to say.
No,
it's tested negative for
this
COVID.
Cold flu RSV thing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was terrible.
Yeah.
In fact, my doctor said, don't get on an airplane.
Why?
Because they pressurized the cabin at 8,000.
Oh, your ear, you'd get a horrible earache.
And I was having trouble breathing.
Yo, that's nice.
Oh, that's so sad. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I was super disappointed. The good news is there's plenty of people down there. I could call on someone to sub for me to conduct the whole show, and I have a whole team of people to put it together and make it work. So
is it really Tuba Christmas without Scott Wilkinson?
Me? Yeah, no, it's not the same.
I'm sorry. Well, you're feeling a little better, I hope.
Oh yeah.
Back in Santa Cruz, you flew home.
Yeah. Well, I never went. I never left. I've been here the whole time.
You couldn't go. Yeah.
Couldn't go. But apparently, I got all kinds of reports. Everybody said it went great, and they all missed me terribly, and I appreciate that. But it did go. The show must go on, and it did.
Scott joins us every week to talk about big screen, flat screen, TVs, widescreen TVs, surround sound, sound bars, headphones, all of that stuff.
All that stuff. Well, today I wanted to point out my brand new Home Theater of the Month article on avsforum.com. This is, we normally do Home Theater of the Month. Most people submit entries from the United States, but this one's in Essen, Germany, and it is really good. One of the best I've ever done. It looks like a Dolby Cinema. The guy... And he built everything himself, and it's so clean. There's no equipment, no speakers visible. It's all super clean.
I'm looking at November's. I got to go to December's.
Yeah. No.
This
November.
is it.
This is it. We posted at the end of the month.
I get it. Okay.
Labeled for. So this is November. This is the latest beautiful one. Oh, it's gorgeous.
So he started in a basement. With concrete walls.
Concrete wall basement, yep.
Wow. And built it all himself. Amazing.
Yeah, he even built the speakers himself.
Wow.
Now, the main speakers came from a company that sells kits, but, he built them.
Do you save money by doing that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And really, you can get all the parts, which are probably the same parts that... But I would rather have Andrew Jones design my speakers than Leo Laporte. Right?
Well, the speakers are designed by the company that sells you the kit.
Okay.
All you do is, put it together.
And it saves you.
It saves you money, absolutely. Now, he did a really interesting thing with his subwoofers. He's got 8 subwoofers in that room.
Whoa.
4 of them in the front, facing the audience, and 4 of them in the back.
Okay.
Now, The problem with subwoofers always is that they tend to build up what are called room modes, nodes, where in certain locations in the room, certain bass frequencies are accentuated, and in other locations they're diminished.
By use.
So by the fact that the room has dimensions and the sound reflects around in it. And so you build up what are called standing waves at certain frequencies, which are related to the length and width of the room and height of the room.
So you might have a seat in this theater where everything sounds really bassy.
That's right. Super boomy. And in other words, where you can't hear any bass at all. So he did a really interesting thing where the sound waves from the front subwoofers come into the room, they reach the back wall, and the back subwoofers are tuned so that they cancel the waves coming from the front so that they don't get reflected into the room.
Is this guy a sound designer? How do you know how to do that?
No. Well, it's a concept that's pretty well known called a double bass array. And it's a particular technique for managing bass in a room that I hadn't really seen too many people use before, but he did it, and I'm sure what that does is it creates very even bass throughout the room, which is wonderful. Really, really great.
You know, sometimes, you know, I've seen it happen. People have cars with big subwoofers in the back. You can hear them coming from a mile away. I bet you his house is like that. That you know when he's watching, you know, Top Gun Maverick, you just hear this coming out of his house.
Maybe. He did a lot of acoustic work in this house as well, and the basement is full of is concrete walls.
The basement, I'm not worried about. It's the ceiling of the basement, the floor of the house. I would think it'd go right through that. The floor.
Well, the ceiling is concrete as well.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a bunker.
It's a bunker.
It's a bunker. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he says it contains the energy of the room, the acoustic energy of the room very well, and doesn't leak into the rest of the house.
You could deafen yourself. How much did it cost to build this bunker, this bass bunker?
Well, he designed and built the whole house, so it's a brand new house.
I see. He was thinking ahead. When he built the basement, he made the concrete basement. Okay.
Yeah, but he says he spent about $67,000, not including his time. And remember, he built this entire room by himself. He built all the framing. He built all the acoustical panels. Well, he bought those, but installed them and did all the fabric across.
Wow, that's cool.
It's amazing.
I bet you a lot of the cost was the projector.
The projector is a JVC DLA NX9, which is probably, I think it's on the order of $10,000 or $12,000.
So there you go.
So yeah, that ain't cheap.
Yeah, 20% of it is the projector.
The projector.
Yeah,
right.
Does he call it his basement?
Oh, God.
Oh, that would be really
Come
good.
into my basement.
Yeah. No, he actually calls it the Nexus One.
Yeah, of course he does.
Which he says more cinema than cinema, because if you'll remember from Blade Runner, the Nexus 6 was touted as more human than human, and he called it that because he realizes, as I do, and many of us do, that when you go to a commercial cinema, you don't get as good performance as you do in a room like this.
You must come to Nexus 1. And he was smart. He gave himself lots of room for growth. He didn't start at Nexus 6. He started at Nexus 1.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I suspect he will be doing more of this. Because isn't the fun of it the journey? You know, after you go through all of this, you spend $67,000, this beautiful theater. You probably, you know, well, I don't really want to watch a movie tonight.
So true.
I'm going to read a book, you know, and stay upstairs.
Yeah. No, you know.
It's one of those things. And the fun is the journey.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
And there's a never enough-ism about home theater hobby, because you're going to replace the projector when a better one comes along.
See, that's why I hesitate spending all that money. But I guess a lot of the investment is going to work forever. I mean,
the room is going to work forever.
Speakers don't get much better over time, do they?
No, that's true.
That's a pretty simple acoustic technology.
Yep. It hasn't changed
a lot
since
the
in
loop.
100 years.
Do the speakers you own get worse over time? Do they start to break
wear
down?
It's possible that they can. There are certain moving parts. for example, the surround that attaches the vibrating cone to the frame can wear out over time, and that needs to be replaced once in a while. But that's years. That's years before that happens. And if you keep the room at a nice humidity and temperature, that's going to be many years before that happens.
Scott Wilkinson, you find out more if you go to the avsforum.com and look at their home theater of the month, November's home theater. You can also watch his videos. He does a great podcast at youtube.com/avsforum and joins us right here every week. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Glad you're feeling better.
Thanks.
Leo and Micah, your tech guys. Now we'll get to the phones right after this.
I didn't get a chance to say that next Tuesday, the podcast guest is one of the preeminent theater designers in the world.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
And he's going to be talking about some case studies. He and his engineer partner are going to be talking about some case studies of some theaters they've done. And his theater designs. Now, $67,000 is a drop in the bucket for the kinds of things he does.
He does home theaters?
Yeah. Home theaters, but mega
For
home
the
theaters,
billionaires.
I mean. Yeah.
Can you open up AirDrop on your phone?
Oh, very exciting. As you know, because I'm Chinese, I have AirDrop everyone turned off. You should be in my contacts.
I probably am. I didn't know if you had it just disabled. I
might have it disabled. I don't know. No, it's on. Contacts only.
Okay, I'm seeing your Mac Mini, but not your phone
I'll put it to everyone. It's called, you don't know. My phone's called Romeo.
Romeo, wherefore art thou?
Go ahead, Scott, all yours.
Thank you. So nice to see you, everybody. I was so disappointed at not being at Tuba Christmas. What it meant was I was home last Saturday, but I was coughing and hacking so bad I did not want to be on the air. My voice was just terrible. It's still a little low, if you notice. It was a bad one. It was a really bad one. Anyway, hello, everyone. So nice to see you. Tech Dino, I did not recover. I wouldn't call it recovering quickly. The symptoms came on the Saturday after Thanksgiving, and that's now 2 weeks ago. And I'm only now starting to feel semi-normal. I've got a bunch of winter concerts that I'm playing in this weekend. And last night was the first one, and I went, and man, was I exhausted afterwards. I got another one this afternoon and another one tomorrow afternoon. So I'm trying to take it real easy and rest up as much as I can. And let me tell you, schlepping a tuba in a weakened state is not much fun. But once I get there and I'm settled and I'm playing the tuba also with diminished lung capacity is dicey. I just can't play as loud, and I can't play as long phrases. I have to take breaths more often. So all of that is impeding me, but what the heck? Making music is always a good thing. Always. So anyway, hello, everybody. I'm looking around here. PS chops. Lots of speakers won't hurt your hearing. High volumes will. You're exactly correct. And in fact, that's an argument for having a bunch of subwoofers, is that they don't have to play as loud. And you'll still get the bass impact, and it doesn't have to be as loud. So that's exactly right. Burke, yeah, $67,000 is still a lot of money. That is true. Absolutely. I would not disagree with that one little bit. But that's just for the equipment and the building materials. You know, he built everything himself. I'm quite amazed at that, actually, at how well it turned out. And he said the only things that he had help with was his wife helped him put the overhead speakers in the ceiling. And the company that made the speakers actually did the audio calibration in the room.
You want to stick around for the top?
Happy to.
Thank you. Leo Laporte, the tech guy with the not gray yet Micah Sargent. Probably not gray for a long time to come.
At least not fully gray.
Not fully gray.
Yeah.
So you sent me, I don't know how you got them, 20 pictures of Kim.
Uh-huh.
So we are now creating
Friends on Facebook.
avatars. We shall see. I will not show these on camera because...
Yeah, until they're vetted.
yeah, I have a feeling. But yeah, we're playing with the Lensa. Let's get to the phone. So I really feel bad. We've shirked our duties. Jeff is on the line from Upland, California. Hi, Jeff.
Hey, Leo and Micah.
Hello.
Thanks for your patience.
I'm going to miss hearing you guys on KFI on the weekends.
Oh, well, good
I hope
news.
you'll tune in on Sundays.
Saturdays, it'll be Rich tomorrow on KFI and the entire Premier Radio Network taking over. Rich on Tech from KTLA. He's wonderful. Sundays, we won't be on the radio, but Micah and I will be doing the same show on the internet. We're using the internet
I've never heard
as
of it.
a fake radio station. Should be interesting.
I've heard of that.
Yes.
I still remember the first thing I learned from your show when I started listening on KFI.
What's that?
How to clear the Windows icon cache.
Those were the
Throwback.
days, my friend. We thought they'd never end. Yeah, that was a big problem. That was like Windows 98 probably. Wow.
Yeah, I don't remember what version
Yeah,
it was.
it probably was. Yeah.
Hey,
Wow.
I got a kind of e-waste related question for you.
Okay.
In IT for decades, and whenever we do a tech refresh or close down an office, I was the guy that was in charge of scrapping all the PCs and wiping all the drives. And I would pull all the boards out, and once I had a few boxes of boards, there was a guy who would buy them from me to recover all of the precious metals. And I only saw the guy every few years because that was how long it took to get enough boards together to make it worth the trip. But that guy isn't around anymore, and I need to find a new place to get rid of these boards. I've looked online, and all the places I found are, well, yeah, you ship them to us, but I think the only person that makes any money in that deal is the shipper because
Yeah.
these things are so heavy.
Yeah, you're probably right. What an interesting business, right?
Yeah.
There's gold in them there motherboards and other stuff, but it takes some skill to safely melt it down and recover the metals. Not everybody could do that. And I'm sure you're a local electronics recycler. Well, I don't know. You know, LA has some very good, in fact, they were a sponsor for a long time, electronics recycling. So, you know, I just don't know what your local recycler does. I actually have a theory that the recyclers maybe overstate their capabilities. For instance, we know that about 90% of plastics never get recycled. Plastic is very hard to recycle. You have to separate it properly, and only some plastics can be recycled. And yet our local recycler swears, oh yeah, put the milk bottles right in there, put anything you got that's plastic, you just put that right there in the recycling. And I gotta, you know what, somebody should do an investigate. I'm gonna go down there and see, what do you do with the electronics waste? What do you do with the plastics? What do you do with the stuff that's so hard to recycle? Cardboard's easy if it's stacked and clean, and you know, that's a good one. Aluminum, sure. Glass gets a little harder. So I bet your electronics recycling people probably, for a long time, they just sent it to China where small children burned it. I hope they don't do that anymore. So let's find somewhere near Upland that you could drive to, that you could bring these probably every couple of years, right?
Yeah.
I think this is really great. I wish we would do this. I just feel like I feel like it's one of those things we pay lip service to. Mm-hmm. Gosh bless you for doing it, Jeff, for actually doing it.
Well, that's why I pull the stuff apart myself, is because I have some trust issues with the advertised process, just as you said.
Yeah. Well, Burke, who is the Fix-It King around here, says you have to put the circuit traces in sulfuric acid to get the gold. That is not something, you know, a normal person would do. Have a little sulfuric lying around.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Not to mention the toxicity of the gases coming off and all of that stuff.
Not something I'd want to do in my garage.
No. In fact, it was great this guy did it. Did he pass away? What happened to him?
Just no trace of him.
Yeah.
And I don't think he
maybe the
actually
sulfuric
did it.
acid got to
Oh,
him. I don't
no.
know.
Someplace
Fumes.
else.
Yeah, he probably, you know what? The problem probably is that, you know, you can only recover a small amount per motherboard. And the setup must be expensive. I imagine he started the business figuring, I'm going to get, all the motherboards and all the world. And, people throw them out. Or maybe he got rich, bought a boat, and he's gone. I don't know. It's possible also. How much? What I'd love to know is how much is a motherboard worth? I mean, what is the reclaim value of that motherboard?
I think I used to get at least $1 a pound for the stuff.
Wow, that's really good. So I guess the question would be, you do have e-waste recycling. Somewhere in your community you do. I know I bring my batteries in. I have a big box of batteries that I periodically give to Burke. And Burke, you don't burn them. You bring them to the recycler. So if you go you're in California, so if you go to calrecycle.ca.gov, they have an e-waste page where you can search. Let me just look and see if Upland, you probably already know, you probably already do this, right? Where you can search for somewhere that will take it. But
no, I have not looked there. That's
okay.
Idea.
So I mean, imagine this is California, but I imagine every state. Yeah, I've been looking at Upland, and there's actually a large number of green dots. Not in Upland proper, but if you go over to Ontario, there's a few places in Ontario. Ontario is more industrial, so I'm not surprised. In fact, there's 4 or 5 places. In fact, there's one that might be the one for you called Prudent IT Tech Asset Recovery. That sounds like somebody that burns motherboards and sulfuric acid to me.
All right.
Prudent IT Tech Asset Recovery. Huh. So some of these are just your regular recyclers, but like the Greenway solid waste guys do the regular. That's probably the guys who come around in the green truck and pick up your stuff on the curb. But there are some. It looks like in Ontario, I wouldn't be surprised that there are some specialty places, and there may still be somebody who Hyper Technology Solutions. That sounds like somebody might do it also.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, check it out. And of course, we have listeners all over the world, so one hopes that there is a, at least statewide, if not local, recycler that will do the right thing with this stuff. But you could see how hard it is and how unlikely. The Chinese stopped accepting our recycling for burning. And that's caused, what happens? It just goes in the landfill now, which it shouldn't, because it leaches out all those chemicals come out of it. And that's not a good thing.
No.
Hey, thank you for calling and asking and doing the right thing. Lewis in Hollywood, my friend Lewis. Hi, Lewis.
Mr. President.
Cheers to you. Happy holidays.
I've been starting my calls that way since you were elected president of the internet in 2009.
Holy cow.
This is the last time I'll be saying it on the radio. Before my questions, I want to let you know that after a 3-year hiatus, the return of Tuba Christmas LA was a spectacular success.
Scott, you hear that?
I do.
Lewis
Yay!
went. Yay.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, that Hall of Liberty in Burbank seats 1,200, and it was almost a capacity crowd.
Nice.
The only disappointment was that Maestro Wilkinson was unable there to conduct. There was an audible sigh of disappointment and concern when we were informed he was too ill to travel.
Lewis, thank you for the report. I'm glad Scott was still here to hear that. That's great.
Yeah.
He came running back in.
Leo, for my final call on the Tech Guy on radio, I have 2 quick questions, one technical, one historical. First of all, at this point in the development of the Mac and Mac OS, is a program like Micromat's Techtool Pro of any use?
It is occasionally. These are programs that will, and there are a number of companies that do this. Micromat's one of the best that will let you unerase files, things like that. So for the unerasing feature, yes, you don't need to defrag disks anymore. There's some question about whether the part of the tool that gets rid of temp files and cache files is necessary. I wouldn't buy it if you've got it. Well worth keeping it, Lewis. I wouldn't get rid of it. Hey, hold your second part for later. We got to take a break. Leo and Micah, your tech guys, stay here. And Lewis, see, that's the problem with radio is the clock never sleeps.
Oh, I've been listening to talk radio since I was 6 years old. So
I love talk radio. I just love it. And,
I do too.
One of the problems AM radio is going to suffer is most electric vehicles don't have AM radios in them because of the noise created by the electric motors.
Really?
I
didn't realize that either.
That's going to even further impact KFI and others. It's
Well, I recently, earlier this year, I got a RAV4 Prime plug-in hybrid, and it still has AM.
Good. Yeah. That's probably going forward something you're going to always want to look for.
Yeah.
What was your second question, Louis?
Leo, I contributed a brick, an inscribed brick to the brick house.
What does it say?
It says, "Long live Dev Null."
I remember that brick.
Yeah, but I never managed to make it up to the brick house. Did you make any visual records?
We did. There's a Gigapan of it somewhere. Boy, yeah, because, I may or may not have been able to save it. You probably heard the story that the bricks were mortared onto drywall.
Yeah.
With real brick mortar. If we had known that the mason was going to do that, we would have stopped him and said, "Can you use rubber cement?" But so in order to get those bricks off, the drywall comes with them, often in chunks. Yeah. So we'd have to use a wire or wheel or something to get the drywall off. We did it with a sum, so I have some kind of a sample, maybe 100 or 200, but there were 1,800 bricks. And do we still have those in a storehouse, or did we finally give up? We might still have them in the storage, but so I'll look for yours. But let me see if I can find that Gigapan, because somebody did you know how those Gigapans, you use a special camera.
Yep.
Yeah. If you go to gigapan.com, it's in the gallery. Brickhouse bricks. So those are so high res that you should be able to zoom in. Oh, John did them. There's 5 of them. So I'll put a link in the show notes, but I think if you just Google Gigapan Brickhouse bricks, John did those, and you can zoom in very, very tight on those. So you should be easy. I mean, good luck searching.
Yeah.
There's 1,800 of them.
I'll find it.
But John made a copy. Thank you, John, for doing that. That's great. Yep. Jammer B, our studio guy, is the best. So that's
Leo, I'm going to miss you on Saturdays, but I will be tuning in Sundays.
Well, just think of me eating a lovely brunch.
Yeah.
I'll be at the International House of Pancakes if you're looking for me, Louis. I'll miss talking to you on a regular basis, but I do hope you'll call in. We're going to use Zoom for the show on Sunday, so
I look forward to it.
I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks, Louis.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye, Micah.
Bye-bye. Oh, I love Louis. Been calling me for a long time. All right, Scott, you got 6.5.
Thanks.
Thank you.
That was how nice of him to.
He's a really great guy. Yeah, he's a really great guy.
I'm so sorry I wasn't there to say hi to him in person.
I'm sorry you weren't either. That's such a bummer.
It was a super bummer, man. I was waiting till the last second. I was thinking, maybe I'll take enough drugs that I'll be okay. And my doctor finally said, you really shouldn't get on a plane.
Yeah, because the pressure really can hurt.
Really hurt.
Yeah.
Really hurt.
Yeah.
So they pressurized that cabin to, I think, an altitude of 8,000 feet.
Yikes.
Which is really low pressure. It's higher than Denver.
Yeah.
By a lot. And I get affected in Denver with asthma.
Right.
So anyway, I do have it all planned out for next year, December 3rd, Sunday. I'm going to do it, by golly.
Good. December 3rd. You're prepared.
I'm prepared. Absolutely.
You can definitely read every brick, Louis. I'm looking at them. But good luck searching.
I do have my brick. When I did a brick, they had the option of, you can order one that they send to you, and I did.
There's so many.
So I have my brick.
It breaks my heart. But those bricks built the studio, and so I'm forever
that
grateful.
That studio was so awesome.
It was. And
that studio was amazing.
The good thing is all of them are, all of the bits of it are here. So really, you built this studio too. We couldn't have done this like this where I'm sitting. This is all the original stuff. We just took it with us. That's all. So, all right, I'll give you your 5 minutes. I'm going to get a cup of coffee.
Okay, go get a cup of coffee. Steve in San Diego, my brick is in set 5. Oh, good. Thanks for letting me know. And Redacted also found my Geek Out brick. That's great. Yeah, that was what I put on it for sure. My catchphrase. Everybody's got to have a catchphrase, right? At least those of us on the air. So, PS Chops was talking about a friend of his that got stuck in the subway with his tuba And I thought he was just, the subway stopped and he was just stuck in a car. But no, he was physically stuck. They had to extract him. And I asked if he was okay. And he said, yeah, he's okay. But the tuba was a bit dented. Thank goodness for cough switches. So that was sad. Hopefully not too dented. My tuba got its first dent about a month or two ago, which I was kind of bummed about. James asks if any of my holiday presents are coming to me with the size of a large screen TV. And the answer is not for the holidays, but come the springtime when we move into our new house, I am planning to get a new TV. And it will almost certainly be the Sony QD OLED. Loquacious, yes, indeed. My brick says geek out, which I was happy to do, happy to contribute to that. I missed that studio. Boy, that was a great studio. And Leo's right. Most of the stuff that was in there is now in the new studio. But there was something special about that studio, the real brick house, with that revolving control center. You had different sets and the whole control center could move and face this set and then that set. That was brilliant. Just brilliant. Tech Tino, do I have a tie-dye welcome mat? I don't know yet. We haven't found our welcome mat yet. Mike B, yeah, you won't get to see the new house, my new studio, because this show is ending, unless maybe I get a guest appearance. Who knows? Maybe Rich will want me on once in a while to talk about home theater. That'd be cool. But I'll certainly be, I hope to be on Leo and Micah's internet show now and again. That would be also extremely cool. I would be happy to do that anytime. Although I must say, if Leo and Micah are doing Sundays, Leo was just talking about being able to go to brunch. Of course, maybe if they do it in the afternoon, he can still go to brunch. I love brunch. My Sunday brunch is very important to me. My wife and I, we like that very, very much. So I don't blame Leo for wanting to go enjoy brunch now that this long weekend commitment is coming to a close. Oh, Mike B. Leo will brunch on Saturday. Yeah, that's true. You could brunch on Saturday. I don't see any reason why not. Thank you, Tech Dino. The success of my own podcast, it's going pretty good. I'm getting a lot of great guests, that's for sure. The guest this week on Tuesday is, I told you, a world-famous home theater designer. His name is Keith Yates. And he runs his own company, Keith Yates Designs. Very high-end theaters. But the basic concepts are the same, no matter how much you spend. You want good acoustics, you want a good room, and if you can spend the money, great. But we're going to be talking about pretty high-end theaters. Aspirational, shall we say. You read car magazines and you see Ferraris and stuff. Indeed.
Mr. W, geek on, man. Geeky.
That's
Thank
me.
you, sir. I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thanks.
And we'll talk to you next week for the last
one.
Scott Wilkinson. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Bye. Well, ho, ho, ho! Ho, ho! Do you think they can tell that I'm jingling my slippers?
I don't know. Now they know.
Oh, it's the holidays. And you're listening to the Tech Guy Show. Micah Sargent, Leo Laporte. And we're kind of dressed for the occasion.
Absolutely.
I like these slippers. I don't get to wear them very often.
And there's a good rhythm to them.
They have a good.
You're walking.
That kind of scared Micah coming down the hall.
Yeah, I thought, what?
He thought,
I didn't know if there was a Christmas ice cream man making his way around the studio.
So we generated images of Kim using some images she sent us. And you know what? There's nothing offensive. So I think Lensa probably, because I did my wife in Thursday, also with similarly normal pictures, and got some nudes back.
Yeah.
So this, maybe they're fixing it, because
Hopefully.
they must have heard from people saying, I don't like what you're doing with my picture.
Especially since it's in the App Store, rated for
Apple doesn't like that either.
Yeah,
Apple doesn't like that. 8888 Ask Leo, the phone number if you want to talk to the tech guys. David is on the line from Bel Air, Texas. Hello, David.
Hello, Leo.
Welcome.
I am delighted to talk to you. I'm a longtime listener and viewer before then. From what, in the last century?
Yes, it was. Oh, now when you put it that way. Back in the 1990s.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I had something I wanted to speak to you about, which is not going to require more than just a short answer or two from you. But I'm so glad that Scott was on there. I hope he's still around.
We just lost him. No, he's left. The Wilkinson has left the building, but I can channel him pretty well, having listened to him for about 15 years. So go ahead and let me see what I can do.
So my father built speakers for as long as I can remember.
Oh, no kidding. That's cool.
He would be mixing up concrete in the backyard and building wooden boxes and filling them with concrete and such.
Wow.
He's 94 years old and a geophysicist.
Wow.
Geophysicists use sound to
probe the earth.
Probe the earth. And he was in computers as long as I can remember. He was the guy who led the world's largest petroleum company into the use of computers for processing information for geophysics.
No kidding.
Amazing.
So my dad's a geologist, and during the summer, he's a professor during the school year, and during the summer, he would consult for petroleum companies for the same thing, doing searching for oil, helping them find new wells. So maybe they knew each other. That's cool. What company did your dad?
My dad was president of the the International Geophysical Professional.
Sure. I'm sure knew my father then.
Probably did.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's cool. Yeah. He's got the same name as me.
Pardon?
My father's name is the same as mine. I am my father's son.
And he was a professor in at Santa Cruz?
Yeah, U.C. Santa Cruz.
Wow.
Yeah, he was the chairman of the geology department. Oh, you have been listening. David.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, no, seriously.
Oh, yeah, I knew that. Well, anyway, is this your first time calling?
Yeah. And it's amazing that I was able to do it today. I've never listened to you on the radio before. And I never could find a station that played it. Maybe there is one in the Houston area. I've just never been able to find it. So I've been searching for like KFI, trying to listen to it.
Well, we can make it easier for you. If you go to techguylabs.com, all 1,951 shows are on the website.
No, I'm a subscriber to your
bless you.
premium service.
Oh, bless you. Thank you, David.
And want to get on Mastodon sometime soon.
Oh, well, I'll look for you. That's great. Yeah, please do.
Quick.
Yeah.
So I told you he's been designing speakers forever.
Yes.
And he has a house he built around a speaker. About 15 years ago, he and my mom now dead mom, decided that they wanted to build a house to retire to on the same place where they lived, on the same property where they had built a house in 59. And so he designed this speaker that I'm going to describe this to you. It sits in the ceiling of his den. He did not build a theater room, but the bottom of this subwoofer, it sits at the ceiling level, and it goes through the second floor into the third floor. And if you can imagine a rectangle in the ceiling that's like 6 feet wide by 14 feet long or so, and then a similar rectangle in the center above that on the third floor. That's on that rectangle at the center is only about 3 feet wide by 2 feet long, and 2 subwoofers mounted up there that send sound downwards into the chamber that's below that, divided in half by a wall, and the whole thing is packed in concrete. The sides of it, anyway. It's kind of like a you were talking about a boombox car. This is a boombox house.
That's pretty cool.
That's really neat.
That's pretty cool. I think that's what a great hobby. Did you listen? Were you living there at the time, or was this after you left home?
Well, actually, I had moved back to Houston while he was doing this and designing his new house. And I actually helped him build the speaker.
How cool.
He built the speaker himself. While the house was being constructed, he built it down in the den. And
that's so amazing.
And it's sandwiched wood with concrete that we filled inside of it, and then we had steel beams that we hoisted it up into place.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Your dad's still doing it, or has he kind of retired from that?
Well, actually, he's still kicking, and he's doing pretty well. He slows down a lot. My mother died about 2 years ago, and Dad kept on one of her nurses to be his kind of aide.
Nice.
And
good.
And we're trying to get my dad to stop driving.
He's still driving. Wow.
Oh no, it's his aide is supposed to drive him.
Yeah.
But she's there 5 days a week. In fact, when I left, I live 2 doors down from him now.
Oh, nice.
And when I left a little while ago, I noticed that he had gone someplace.
Snuck out, huh?
My brother and I met. My one and only brother and I met with an advisor yesterday about how to address this subject.
Yeah. Well, it means freedom to him. In fact, in a way, that's why this country has such a car culture. It means freedom. And, it's funny because my daughter, when she was 15 and a half, planned to get her license. It meant out of the house. My son, and I think this is not unusual for kids these days, was about 18 before he even kind of bothered to get his driver's license. I remember when I was a kid. Did you run and get yours, or Micah?
I ran and got my permit. It did take me a little bit to get my license. Most of that was just because we didn't have extra cars.
It's hard that way. Yeah.
You didn't have, but I wanted that freedom for sure. And once I had it, it was great.
Can't wait. Get that car. And I imagine it's hard to give it up.
Yeah.
We got my mom to give it up some time ago, fortunately. But she doesn't want to go anywhere, so it's okay. Well,
there's Uber and whatever, but
exactly.
My dad says,
nowadays, I figure I can Uber anywhere. It's a little more expensive, but how often does he go out? Hey, it's a real pleasure to finally speak to you, David.
Hold on. I real quick, I want to tell you my tech question.
You won't have time to do it on the air, but we've got the podcast. We're going to have to take a break for the ads
listeners.
Folks, the ad people.
Okay.
8888 Ask Leo is the phone number. We will get back in just a moment with more of your calls. And who's coming up at the bottom of the hour? Mr. Johnny Jett, our travel guru. Stay here. So you're still on. I have to give, at least for a couple more weekends, I have to give the radio people their due.
Well, thank you for letting me hang on.
Sure, David. And you're on the podcast, too, just so you know. So you're still part of the show. Yeah.
So the tech question has to do with mesh.
Okay.
And several years ago, 3-4 years ago, maybe, you had somebody on. For the life of me, I cannot remember his name.
Jim Salter.
But
I'm guessing. Jim Salter, who was the Wi-Fi reviewer from Ars Technica. Really brilliant guy.
Exactly.
Yes.
And he came to Houston to speak to our Houston area, our Houston area Apple user group a couple of times.
Yeah.
But he was really big on Plume. You remember
Yes,
Plume?
I do remember. And Comcast ended up they didn't buy them, but they gave them so much money that it's really become a Comcastic company. Yeah.
And I'm a tech consultant, and I put, among other things, and I have put Plume in several of my clients' places, and Plume and Eero usually.
Yeah.
And I cannot say enough good about Plume and about their attention to their clients.
Good. That's good to hear, actually.
24/7, 7 days a week.
He liked Plume, and in fact, I got a Plume system because of him. Because his contention was there's more interference than you realize, just even from humans, and putting a Wi-Fi extension in each room. Plume always says that it's like a lamp. You wouldn't try to read a book from 2 rooms away. But the problem is it ggets pretty pricey because you end up putting those little knobs on every plug socket in the house.
No more pricey than Eero.
No, Eero's pricey too. You're right. What are the little Plume things cost? $100?
Well, no,
Are they cheaper?
There are different size ones.
Yeah, you have the base station, and then you have those little knob. I call them. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. You go ahead. No, you go ahead.
You. So the newest ones are about $250, unless you get a Black Friday deal or.
I ended up with 9 of them.
Holy moly!
So I spent probably close to $1,000 on Plume. What I do, and I ended up replacing it. I was unhappy. I think they were maybe not working well together because I was unhappy, and so then I replaced it with an Orbi, which I liked. But really, we've done the right thing, which is we put in Ethernet everywhere, and I put in Ubiquity. And so we have 5 Ubiquity base stations, or WPAs, WAPs, I mean. And that really has made all the difference. So we're wired everywhere we want to be, like the TVs and the workstations. And then for everything else, there's very, very good Wi-Fi. That's been a good solution for us. But that's even more expensive. If I added up how much I've spent on Wi-Fi over the last few years. But you like those Plumes. That's good to know. And they may have gotten better. I mean, this was years ago. This is when they first came out. So,
yeah. But thank you so much for taking my call, and look forward to
David, a pleasure meeting you. I'll look for you on the Mastodon. Thanks for joining the club, too. I really appreciate that. It makes a big difference to us. Yeah. $1 less than a blue check on Twitter, and you get so much more.
Indeed.
Thanks, David.
Thanks.
See ya. Bye. That's cool. His dad built a house around a speaker.
That's awesome.
Wild. Just wild. Hey, everybody. It's Leo Laporte, the founder and host of many of the Twit podcasts. I don't normally talk to you about advertising, but I want to take a moment to do that right now. Our mission statement at Twit, we're dedicated to building a highly engaged community of tech enthusiasts. That's our audience. And you, I guess, since you're listening, by offering them the knowledge they need to understand and use technology in today's world. To do that, we also create partnerships with trusted brands and make important introductions between them and our audience. It's how we finance our podcasts, but it's also, and our audience tells us this all the time, a part of the service we offer. It's a valued bit of information for our audience members. They want to know about great brands like yours. So can we help you by introducing you to our highly qualified audience? And boy, you get a lot with advertising on the Twit podcasts. Partnering with Twit means you're going to get, if I may say so humbly, the gold standard in podcast advertising. And we throw in a lot of valuable services. You get a full service continuity team supporting everything from copywriting to graphic design. I don't think anybody else does this or does this as well as we do. You get ads that are embedded in our content that are unique every time. I read them, our hosts read them. We always over-deliver on impressions. And frankly, we're here to talk about your product. So we really give our listeners a great introduction to what you offer. We've got onboarding services, ad tech with pod sites. That's free for direct clients. We give you a lot of reporting so you know who saw your advertisement. You'll even know how many responded by going to your website. We'll also give you courtesy commercials that you can share across social media and landing pages. We think these are really valuable. People like me and our other hosts talking about your product sincerely and informationally. Those are incredibly valuable. You also get other free goodies, mentions in our weekly newsletter that's sent out to thousands of fans. We give bonus ads to people who buy a significant amount of advertising. You'll get social media promotion too. But let me tell you, we are looking for an advertising partner that's going to be with us long term. Visit twit.tv/advertise. Check out our partner testimonials. Tim Broom, founder of IT Pro TV. They started IT Pro TV in 2013, immediately started advertising with us, and grew that company to a really amazing success. Hundreds of thousands of ongoing customers. They've been on our network for more than 10 years, and they say, and I'll quote Tim, "We would not be where we are today without the Twit network." That's just one example. Mark McCrary, who's the CEO of Authentic, he was actually one of the first people to buy ads on our network. He's been with us for 16 years. He said, and I'm quoting, "The feedback from many advertisers over those 16 years across a range of product categories is that if ads and podcasts are going to work for a brand, they're going to work on Twitch shows." I'm proud to say that the ads we do over-deliver. They work really well because they're honest. They have integrity. Our audience trusts us, and we say, this is a great product. They believe it. They listen. Our listeners are highly intelligent. They're heavily engaged. They're tech-savvy. They're dedicated to our network. And that's partly because we only work with high-integrity partners that we have thoroughly and personally vetted. I approve every single advertiser on the network. If you're ready to elevate your brand and you've got a great product, I want you to reach out to us. Advertise at twit.tv. So I want you to break out of the advertising norm, grow your brand with host-read, authentic ads on twit.tv. Visit twit.tv/advertise for more details or email us advertise@twit.tv if you're ready to launch your campaign now. Leo Laporte and Micah Sargent dancing to the tunes here.
Yo, boogie woogie tech guy.
8888 Ask Leo. The phone number 888-827-5536. Toll free from anywhere in the U.S. or Canada. Back to the phones we go. As we dance, Jerry on the line from Great Falls, Montana. Hi, Jerry.
Hello, Leo.
Welcome.
You've been talking about the ChatGPT.
Yes.
application.
The artificial intelligence that chats with you.
Right. How do I engage it?
It's free for the time being if you go to openai.com. .org, I think.
It's .com.
It's .com?
Yep.
Openai.com, and I think it's /chat. Let me just see. It's chat.openai.com/chat. They say chat twice because it's doubly good. And then it'll say, well, you need an account, so you have to create an OpenAI account. But once you've done that, then you can get to the ChatGPT interface. And the way it works is much like the artificial intelligence art. You give it a prompt. You type in some text. And what's interesting is if you just ask, my daughter was doing things like, well, what's the meaning of life? That's not good.
Yeah.
But if you ask it more concrete things or give it really elaborate concrete scenarios, just like the AI art, it does a better job. So I think down the road, it's going to be a way that people will do what you did, Micah, which is synopsize articles. I think for documentation, for like, how do I fix this dishwasher? You could probably make a chat, use this technology to make a really good, responsive, helpful tool. Do you just want to play with it, Jerry?
Yes.
Well, do it. It's free right now. I can't imagine they're going to keep this free for much longer, so do it right now.
You tell you want to do a poem or things.
So it looks like a little text box. You'll see at the bottom, almost like you're sending a text to a friend. And there you can quite literally type anything you want. Just the other day I said, hey, can you come up with a conspiracy theory involving the FBI, NBC's The Office sitcom, and a slice of lemon meringue pie?
And it worked.
And it came up with an idea involving all of those things. So,
Jerry, what would you, if you were sitting in front of it right now, because I am, what would you ask it? And I'll ask it and we can see what happens.
Oh, I'm not sure.
It's hard to come up with a good prompt. I mean, lemon meringue pie, The Office, conspiracy theory, those are a strange mishmash of things.
Why don't we go with what should Jerry ask an AI if he wants to learn more about large language models?
I'm sure that Jerry does not want to, but I will type that in.
So, Jerry, why I'm saying that, ChatGPT, behind the scenes, it is a large language model, meaning that it uses lots of data of different text to kind of come up with an answer.
Your answer is, if Jerry wants to learn more about large language models, he might want to ask the AI about the specific training process and architecture of the model. He could also ask about the type of tasks the model is designed to perform and any notable achievements or challenges the model has faced. Additionally, Jerry might want to ask about any current or ongoing research in the field of large language models and how the field is evolving. That's actually a good answer. Mm-hmm. Like if you asked an expert, that's probably what they would say. Here's some areas to ask about. Now, I'm going to say something stupid like, let's see, tell Jerry the best way to make tomato soup. To make tomato soup, follow these steps. And there's actually a recipe that looks pretty good. Heat a 2 tablespoons of olive oil, add a chopped onion, stir in a can of diced tomatoes, bring the soup to a simmer, use an immersion blender. This is exactly how I make my tomato soup.
Wow.
It must have been looking over my mother's shoulder. So I guess that's not that hard because it could have looked up a recipe.
What I like about this is that, Leo, then you could say, I like it, but I want more spice. And so then it would give some suggestions. It understands what he's saying. It has the context of him asking about tomato soup. And so it says, hey, why don't you try stirring in some chili flakes or hot sauce when you add the canned tomatoes? It'll give the soup a nice kick of heat.
Or chopped fresh jalapeno or serrano peppers when you cook the onions in step 2. It knew what it had just told me, and I didn't have to say anything but just make it spicier. Okay? Or now I could say, or now make it more festive.
Perfect. I love that whenever it's kind of ambiguous.
To make it more festive, you could try adding some seasonal ingredients or garnishes. Stir in some cooked crumbled sausage. Oh, that sounds good. Garnish each bowl with a dollop of pesto or a sprinkle.
Chestnut.
This is good.
Ooh.
I want to make.
I want a chestnut tomato soup now.
Anyway, there is some actual usefulness. It's not just a toy. It is toy-like. And then you can ask it weird things like Micah's bizarre office/lemon meringue pie question, and you get bizarre responses. On Tech News Weekly, your news podcast this week, you had it right, a script?
I asked it a series of questions, and it responded to them, and then I just spoke its responses out loud and made it sound as if it was coming from ChatGPT. So I interviewed ChatGPT, essentially.
And it was good.
And it went well.
Yeah.
And it was kind of funny at times because you figure out, I will tell you this, Jerry, and a tip for everybody, it really doesn't like talking about itself. So it kind of has trouble understanding the concept of itself, obviously, because it's not alive, it's not that. But if you ask it questions that aren't exactly related to that, you can get some really interesting and helpful responses, which is what we ended up with.
I'm going to say, why did Lensa make the pictures of my wife so sexy, but not Kim? I don't know what it's going to make of that. I'm sorry, but I'm not able to browse the internet and do not have any information about Lensa or the pictures you're referring to. And if I had seen them, I would never tell anybody. No, I added that part at the end. David, try it. It's free right now. It's not going to be free forever. It costs them buku bucks. Google said 10 times more than a Google search to do a typical ChatGPT query. That's a big expense. Maybe it's only a nickel or a dime or a quarter for OpenAI, but there are millions of people using this right now. In fact, I was playing with it on Thursday, and it said, no, I'm too busy. I can't.
You know what's funny is I asked it, I said, hey, how come you're having so many problems? Your loading times are bad and I can't get in. It doesn't have any concept of that. And so it said, I am just a large language model. There's clearly something wrong with your Wi-Fi connection. Oh, you need to fix your home network.
You need to buy some plumes. That's interesting. David, have fun with it. Jerry, have fun with it. It is a very interesting peek into, I think, what our future might hold. I mean, there really is some question. We were talking at the beginning of the show about how self-driving vehicles just haven't been able to do it. It's just too hard to do that last bit that makes it safe and okay.
Yeah.
Even the ones like Cruise and Waymo that are doing it on the city streets these days get baffled by green lights sometimes. But I do think that these kinds of smart chatbots are in our future. You know, imagine if you connected this to Amazon's Echo. It'd be a lot more fun. Leo and Micah, your tech guys. Johnny Jett coming up. Pinch of ground cinnamon.
Honestly, the big thing I think about is because if you call into a support call and you try to get help,
perfect for that.
The human being only has so many points that they can look at.
But this has everything.
It has all of it at once. So if you train it to that data set, I can say, this is the very specific thing I'm dealing with my iPhone. It puts 100 billion different points together and goes, oh, I know exactly what this is, and I can help you with that. That is mind-bogglingly awesome.
Let me see. What would be the best way to get the best price on my airline tickets to, where should we go? Cabo San Lucas at Christmas. See if it can replace Johnny Jett. Hi, Johnny.
Hi, John.
Can't replace me. What are you talking about?
It doesn't have your charm.
Here we go. I'm going to type that in to whatever it's called, ChatGPT. And what would be the best way to get the best price on my airline tickets to Cabo for, should I put the year in? For
it only
Christmas
has data up to 2021, so it'll be interesting to see what it says about that.
I'm sorry, but I'm a large language model. Can't browse the internet. Yeah, so that's what it's saying basically is,
a cutoff date of 2021.
I don't know anything about the future.
So try asking it without the 2022 at the end.
Okay.
You can just go up and, edit it. On the right there's a button to click edit.
Nope.
Still doesn't
like
answer
it.
Boo.
Doesn't like it. It's nice that you can easily edit the result.
You can go LA to Cabo on the 24th and come back the 30th for a 360 round trip on United
But
nonstop.
who would want to go to Cabo is the problem.
Not me, but I mean, I love Cabo. Don't get me wrong. It's been a while since I've been there.
I don't think it's funny. We have family members who have a restaurant, but not in Cabo San Lucas, but in the old Cabo.
Todos Santos?
I can't remember what it's called, but it's got another name. Cabo something. But and that's not so weird, so strange. San Jose del Cabo.
Okay.
San Jose. And apparently it's a good restaurant. I have to get down there. They have some good food down there. Henry goes down there for spearfishing all the time because I guess they have a house down there. So he goes down there. He just did a collab with Owen, another TikTok sandwich guy. They went down and spearfished.
Who has a house down there? Your son?
No, he will though. It's only a matter of time. No, his cousins.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So, yeah, I do think we want to get away for. We have a week after Christmas available to just not.
Well, it's not going to be cheap.
Is it? Is it going to be expensive?
I mean, hotels definitely won't be cheap.
Yeah.
That's the most expensive week of the year between Christmas and New Year's.
I'm going to put some sand in the backyard and get a sun lamp.
Go the week after New Year's.
Can't. We're at
you'll
work.
Find crazy deals.
We're at work. Can't.
One of the slowest weeks of the year to travel.
Really, the week after New Year's.
Yes.
Because we're back at work.
People are back at work. Kids are back in school. Everyone spent their money. Everyone's partying out.
Oh, I have to show you Kim's pictures. I forgot.
Yeah.
So this is my last.
You're not going to be here next week?
I'm going to be traveling unless my wife is still sick because she's still sick. She now has COVID.
All right. Well, you can say goodbye. This is great. So, it didn't do any of the weird sexiness with Kim. That doesn't look like her. But.
Whoa. Sort of a fighter or something.
I think it did. Some of these are really fun.
Whoa. Like blue skin. That's neat.
Yeah. I like the fairy Kim. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? She looks great. And none of this stuff, I think they fixed it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think that they heard from people who said, "What the hell are you doing?"
Which app is this?
This is Lensa, and it's we gave her 20 pictures of Kim, and then it generated these AI art versions of Kim.
I almost downloaded it yesterday.
Everywhere, man. He's breathing the mountain air, man. He's our Johnny Jet, our travel guru. Joins us every week at this time. JohnnyJet.com is the website. Hello, Johnny.
Hello, Leo.
Your last appearance on the Tech Guys show, because next week you're going to be traveling. Knock on wood.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
My wife will be recovered.
Yay. I hope so, too. But I told Rich I'm going to give him the names of everybody who's on the show, so maybe he can get you on. And we're going to get you on the internet show from time to time.
Absolutely.
It won't be every week, but from time to time.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I'd love to be on.
Yeah,
obviously.
we love you. Yeah, you're great.
Well, I love you, and thank you so much. I remember, my first appearance was 2013 on this show. I was on your Tech Guys show, or the
Call for Help show out of Canada.
2003. No, out of San Francisco.
In San Francisco, 2003.
Yes.
And then I forgot about you for 10 years?
No, then I went to Vancouver with you. I went to Toronto with you, and then you forgot about me for about 10 years. And then in 2013, you had me on. It was only supposed to be a one-off, 1 week, and then everyone in the chat room was so nice, and I guess they liked me, and you said, "You want to come back next week?" I said, "Sure." And next thing I know, I've been doing it almost every week. I've only missed a handful of episodes in the last 9 years, so thank you so much.
I'm very grateful. I really am. You're awesome.
I'm grateful.
Yeah,
I really am. I mean, I have people recognize me in the airport because of the podcast.
That's great.
And the Skype.
That's great. Well, it's been a wonderful 10 years, and I look forward to continued relationship. You've helped me travel all over the world, given me great advice and tips, and travel locally, too. You've been just really fantastic. I know it's been a little rough for us all the last few years. Travel really kind of stopped.
I mean, before COVID, I was calling in almost every week from somewhere else.
I remember. In fact, that was our game. Where the hell is Johnny this week?
Where's Johnny?
Where's Johnny? And you haven't done much since then, but I do hope you get out and about. In New York City now, they're saying inside, wear a mask now. So be careful, everybody, if you do go anywhere. I feel like air travel.
Last week. I had COVID last week. I'm over it. Thank God. My wife has it now. My son has it now.
You got over it quick.
Yeah, fortunately, I had very mild case. I've been boosted. I have all
That's
that stuff.
why, yeah.
And I had Paxlovid, and that really helped.
Oh, nice.
But my wife had it rough. My son just basically has the cold. And
did they all get COVID after you did?
We think my daughter might be patient zero. We're just not sure because we didn't test her. She's in
It's hard to
preschool.
tell. Yeah, it's really hard to tell. Yeah.
But anyway,
they say 42% of adult Americans have gotten it, but only 21% admit it. Which is pretty hysterical. I admit it. Micah is still a unicorn.
I'm still a unicorn. I'm not one of those that didn't admit it. I swear to.
You're very careful, though. You're extremely careful. Yeah. And it's no fun.
I wasn't until this last week. But anyway, the big news this week, by the way, is Real ID got extended again. I know we talked about it like a month ago.
This is crazy. They keep extending
I know.
So I went out and got one because I thought, I'm going to have one to fly.
Yep.
Nope.
I don't even worry about it, because I just carry my passport whenever I travel. That's all
I do
you need.
too. Yeah.
So if you have a passport and you travel with it, then you do not need a Real ID. But
in California, getting it is means, and this is true in most states. I think you go to the DMV and get a new driver's license. There's a higher requirement of identification. I had to bring some other documents like a bill to show my real address. And then in California, you get a golden bear with a star on it. That's the only way you know it's Real ID.
And mine does not have that.
Yeah. But just like you, I use my passport, or even I got a passport card when I bought the passport. Do they still do that, the passport cards?
Yes, of course. I think
that's really handy.
More. Definitely.
Get the passport
driving
card.
Across to Canada or Mexico.
But also it serves as a federal ID and is good for a lot of just ID purposes, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
The other big news, by the way, this week is obviously Brittney Griner coming home, but President Biden's speech had a really good tip in there for international travelers.
Really? President Biden's giving international travel tips. What was it?
Imagine that.
what was it?
So, he said...
Stay the hell away from Russia, right?
Well, that's one of them, but always check the country-specific State Department's travel advisories. And you know what? I remember I think it was 2004. I was in Budapest with my buddies in Hungary, and we were out for my buddy's bachelor party, and we ran into some girls. They're like, let's go to this bar. Anyway, we totally got swindled.
Yep.
I think it was like $300 for 4 drinks or something.
Yep. It's a known swindle. Yep.
The next day, we look at their we Google it. It's on the State Department's page, including the bar that we were at. Say, stay away from this bar and these other bars.
Oh, wow.
So it's a great tip. Just always make sure that whatever country you're going to, check those advisory. And you know what? I would even actually add checking Australia's, Canada's, and the UK's, because they're all in English. You know, they're obviously.
It's probably a good idea in case the U.S. State Department's being a little nervous Nelly. Sometimes they are.
Yeah, sometimes it's political.
Yeah. And then, but if you check Canada and Australia and they all three say, nah, I better not go to that bar, then I would definitely trust it if all three countries say no. Or Johnny says
exactly.
It. Yeah.
Just check their check their tips, because they have, you know, I was watching Shanghai and someone came up to me and said, would you like to go to a tea party?
Yeah.
And I read that and I was like, no, sorry, I don't want to go buy any art or check out a tea party.
Yeah.
But if I didn't, I might have. So my point is, it's a really good tip, especially for international travelers. And
very good advice.
And it's easy to find those links to to Australia, UK, and Canada, their state departments.
Yep. Very, very good advice.
I also put in the chat room, did you see that video of this guy named Danny MacAskill? He's a Red Bull bike rider, just a regular bike.
No.
Going around San Francisco. He's from the Island of Skye.
Yeah.
Isle of Skye.
Isle of Skye, yes.
Yeah.
It's not quite an island, it's just an isle.
You got to look at this video. It's 5 minutes long of San Francisco. He does the most amazing tricks you've ever seen on a bicycle. And it just makes San Francisco
not
look
legal
so
on the streets of San Francisco, I'm thinking.
I mean, he's going down Lombard Street on his front wheel wheelie going backwards.
Yeah,
he's riding across chain links.
Encourage that kind of behavior.
No, you don't. But this guy is.
He's a trained professional.
It's like Cirque du Soleil, what he does.
Wow. Interesting. All right. You put that in the chat room, huh? I'll have to
did.
take a look
and what
at
I like about it is they actually show him fall a few times, and he gets up and does it again. I mean, obviously the falls hurt.
No, a lot of times they edit that stuff out and you think, oh yeah, this is easy.
So easy to do, but
not easy.
Yeah.
No.
Check that out. And another viral video this week was a baggage handler in Melbourne, Australia for Qantas. Actually, he was for Swissport, a third party. And they showed him loading the bags or unloading the bags from the plane onto the conveyor belt. And he's just like body slamming it like he's Hulk Hogan almost.
Jeez.
So
I kind of feel like they do that. Do you remember ages ago the Samsonite commercials where they had gorillas handling the baggage? And they said, you need a Samsonite because of this. So it isn't too far off.
No, but it's not. But what I like about it is that, first of all, you get a behind the scenes of how they really unload the luggage.
It's interesting. They get into the belly of the airplane and pack it in there. It's very cool.
They do, but it makes you a better traveler because it teaches you, first of all, you don't want to check a bag, number one. Number two, that if you are going to check a bag, make sure that you pack everything right. Like one time I made the mistake of buying a bottle of wine and putting it in my luggage a long time ago from Europe. You know, that red bottle of wine went all over my luggage, ruined most of my clothes. So now you know to put it in one of those wine sleeves and then put it in plastic, wrap it. Also, you know, get some really good
this video is awful.
Luggage.
Do not. I'm watching the Danny. Both Mike and I are seeing the Danny MacAskill video. No, just no.
Oh, come on.
Well, better him than me, anyway. I hope people don't see this and get ideas because you should not be doing this.
They're not going to be able to do it, first of all.
Yeah, that's why you shouldn't be doing it. Because you're going to jump on that railing and go over the other side.
Oh, you're going to die. Most people will die doing this stuff.
Okay, that's good. There's the disclaimer. Don't do this. You'll probably die.
Yeah.
Johnny Jet, love you. JohnnyJet.com. Please check him out. Follow him on Twitter, Instagram. And we're going to get in the newsletter, get the newsletter, and the newsletter will tell when you're going to be on our internet show because we will have you back. A pleasure working with you, John.
Thank you.
This video is insane.
So you agree with that?
Holy cow.
I mean, the beginning is nothing.
Oh, I know. It gets worse and worse. He's one of those guys that hops on railings and stuff, you know, and can ride down a railing.
I just don't know how he does it. I mean, he's like hopping on these railings, climbing up without even getting off the bike.
I'm glad they show him falling, so you don't assume that this guy can do anything. But see, that seems like a dumb thing to do.
Hey, at least he's wearing a helmet.
Yeah, it's kind of silly that he's wearing a helmet, to be honest. Hottest working man in show business. Leo Laporte and Micah Sargent, your tech guys on the radio, 8888. Ask Leo is the phone number. Donna is next from San Diego. Hi, Donna.
Hi, I'm so glad to get a hold of you. I have two kind of short questions.
Great.
One is I'm taking apart a production scanner, which is a really fast, heavy-duty scanner that's about 12 years old or 13 longer. Mm-hmm. And I can't find the hard drive. I want to recycle it, and I want to remove the hard drive because I couldn't find a way to wipe it, although it supposedly has one. And I don't recognize it. I guess, usually they have them in a place where you can just pull it out if you have to.
Yeah, it's really good to know that some printers and scanners have storage in them, significant sometimes, and in some cases save everything you scan or print. And that's a big deal, isn't it? What's the brand name of this scanner?
It's a Canon 5010, DR 5010C. Yeah. And it said someplace it said it had like a gigabyte. I don't know how it could have that much.
Well, it could. I mean, it's an older scanner, and of course, a gigabyte at that time would have cost a lot of money. But maybe it was a very, very expensive.
It was.
Yeah. So a gigabyte's an awful lot. And yes, I would, if I were you, absolutely find that before you get rid of the scanner.
What I need to know is what does it look like? Because
probably not like, I'm looking at the manuals to see if they say, but probably not like what you think of as a hard drive. It's much more likely going to be chips.
Yeah, a little image board.
So it might be a board. Modern SSDs are on a little sort of daughter board, but depending on how they made this, it actually could be on the motherboard. It might not be something you can remove.
Well, that was the question. If I saw it on the motherboard, how can I damage it enough that nobody could pull data off of it?
Yeah.
But I still want it to look like an electronic device when I take it to the electronic
recyclers. If it's removable, then remove it, obviously, and just keep it or hit it with a hammer. But I don't, this is a good question. You could give it to a baggage handler. That's a good idea. And just say, I'm going to check this for a flight to Cancun. You could drill a hole in it.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. That would certainly destroy it. You know what they do in Mr. Robot? Remember at the beginning, the first episode of Mr. Robot, he thinks the cops are onto him. He throws everything in the microwave. Now, don't. I don't recommend this. It'll break the microwave. But
I don't want to do that.
But you can fry those chips. And a little... I shouldn't even say this, but I'm going to anyway. A little chip probably in a microwave, but it's going to short circuit, it's going to zap it, it's going to make fire. Probably wouldn't destroy the microwave. But
I'd just use a drill.
Yeah, just use a drill.
Basically, what you
wait a second. But how is it going to look like if it's on the motherboard? Because I can see where the motherboard is. I just hadn't.
I don't know.
Drill
and so
through all the chips.
Drill through all the chips.
Make sure it's disconnected, obviously. And
I'm looking at the specs.
Same, and I've looked at some different third-party specs, and nothing's showing precisely where it is.
And you're sure there is storage on it?
Yeah, it says it had. It still was. It held the data for a really long time. It was attached to my XP computer. Well, I suspect that it's on the motherboard. I just want to know what shape is it going to be? What's it going to?
And it's unknown. It's unknown. What year is this?
I don't know. It was a long time ago. It was, at least maybe.
Solid state drives were not common more than 10 years ago. So if it's pretty old.
Yeah, they call it a hard disk. That's what it says in the manual that I have for it.
Interesting.
They refer to the hard disk.
That could be that they didn't want to say anything else because they knew you would go, what? Or it could be there really is a disk in it. But that would be spottable. You would see a disk. It would, even if it didn't look like a hard drive to you, it would be an enclosure, a sealed enclosure that's somewhere in there.
I'll just crack it up with a pair of pliers or something, and then maybe nobody will recognize it.
Yeah. If you look,
Well, maybe
it's a bit of a process, but you could go look at all the chips have printing on them, and you could type that into a Google search, and it would tell you what those chips do.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah.
So if you feel ambitious, you could do it.
Well, it has some really sensitive data that belongs to other people.
Yeah.
Here's an easier
By the way, Donna, high praise.
Yeah, seriously. Not a lot of people.
Most people would just go, whatever.
Yep. That is really
good for you.
Very.
You're doing the right thing.
Good work.
Yeah.
Yeah, unsuccessful. Okay, so here's one that I'm sure you can answer, and that is, for years I've been listening to the live stream of Twit TV on my Mondo radio.
Nice.
I want to know what's going to happen. Is Twit TV?
No. Twit's mine. I own Twit, baby. I'm not quitting Twit. I'm just leaving the radio show. So the only people this will affect is people who either listen to it on the radio or get the podcast from iHeart. So it will not be on, my show will not be on iHeart anymore. Rich DeMuro will be, and he's wonderful, and you're going to love him. But my show won't be on iHeart.
I don't listen to iHeart.
If you're listening to, if you go to twit.tv and you listen to the stream, it's going to say the same. It won't be on Saturday. It'll be this time Sundays. It'll be me and Micah. It'll be a little more relaxed because we'll have only a few ads because, we're poor, but they're very good ads, and it will be a little more relaxed because we won't have the time constraints that we have on the radio. But Mike and I are trying to figure out ways to make it though we don't do hour-long phone calls because you know me. Well, you maybe don't know me, but I would do.
Yes, I do. I listen to Windows.
Oh,
I listen to
I'm
Windows
gassy.
Weekly, and also Google.
So we're going to try to keep it to be more like the radio show in the sense we'll get through more calls. I bought this little timer thing, and I was thinking maybe we could set it for like 7 minutes or something so that it would be more like the radio show where we go, okay, you have this much time to answer the question, and then we'd move on. We're going to need somebody to say, Leo, stop talking.
So that way we're not going, and then go to the next screen.
Right.
But I also, it's the live stream that has the replays that I listen to all day long.
Those aren't going anywhere. That's my bread and butter.
So I can get that off on twit.tv when I search on my Mondo radio for it?
Yeah, so you have to figure out what the address is. Your Mondo used to use that radio website to get its addresses, and that site went under.
Right, I had one of those and I bought a new one.
Oh, you have a new Mondo. Good. So they're using a new site. So so you'll have to figure out where the site is and go look and search for Twit, and they will have a live stream. We're on TuneIn. If you ask your Amazon Echo, you say something like play Twit Live, because that's what it's called, Twit Live. It should do it on your Echo and your Google Assistant stuff. Sometimes you have to vary it around, but we certainly make it available.
Well, here's another. I listen to it. I watch it when I want to see the video. I watch it on my computer, and I am a subscriber, but I don't care about commercials, so I just watch the live stream. But on my tablet, I listen to the podcasts of the individual shows, and I was just hoping I wouldn't have to subscribe to every single.
Same subscription. You'll only get one show now instead of 2 a week, but it will be.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about the call-in show. I'm talking about
all the shows.
Things. Yeah, right. Because on the replay, you hear Enterprise Tech and
all of our shows.
I listen to all those right now. But that won't.
Bless you. That's not going to change. That's not going to change. new.twit.am/radio/8000/listen. We'll put that in the show notes.
Whoa,
somebody in the chat room has the URL that you can enter in. I wouldn't want to enter that in your Mondo, but you could put that in a VLC on a browser, on a computer, or on a tablet, and get it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So, in other words, nothing's going to change except for people who listen to the radio or to listen to the radio company's podcasts. Otherwise,
thank you.
Business as usual. Thank you.
Yeah, seriously, thank you.
Thank you, Donna. You're awesome. Leo and Micah, your tech guys. More to come after this. God bless you, Donna. She's a club member. She listens. She's doing the right thing with her drives and her Canon DR5010C. You're great, Donna. You get a gold star.
Yes, real ID.
Thanks. It's just enough. I mean, I can't live without the. Well, truthfully, sometimes I use the radio at night. The Mondo has a.
I put you to sleep. I put you to sleep. Yeah. No, I don't. In fact,
wake back up and turn it back on.
Seriously, I've been thinking that I should do a late night podcast that's not about anything. Because the problem with, at least for me, when I'm going to sleep listening to something, is I feel like I'm missing. Like, now I have to go back and listen.
I listen to audiobooks.
Yeah, audiobooks. I miss a whole chapter.
Wait, how far back do I need to go?
So now what I want to do is a show that's inconsequential. It's just me talking about stuff, but none of it, if you didn't hear it, would bother you in the least, and you'd just go back to sleep if you woke up, and it'd be very relaxing like that, and I'll probably do it about 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. every night. How about that, Donna? Would you like that?
I have it on my tablet already, so I do that because the Samsung tablet has. If you listen to Pocket Casts, you can set the.
It's got a sleep timer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I just wake up and move it back, but the light wakes me up. So,
I'm just looking at this is a 23-pound scanner. This thing is huge.
Yeah, it was really good. It did dual side, and
that's nice.
Color and everything, and it was so fast. And people, they would
50 pages a minute.
I have and I needed it because they gave me piles of.
Oh, are you an attorney?
Digitizing for people or something?
I didn't really want to give my profession on the radio because then they'll know who's.
Don't say anything. You're still on the podcast, so don't say anything. Don't say anything. But you have reason to scan lots of documents. Let's put it that way. All right, and you have very good instincts about privacy, and we've seen a lot of stories about printers and scanners, on eBay and stuff containing all this stuff. I am looking through the specs. I don't see anywhere where it's got a hard drive.
Yeah, I know. I already tried all that, so I'll just start destroying it.
Yeah, I mean, if you hit the chips with a hammer and cracked them, just do a good job because it will be then a signal that there's something on here that somebody might want. So in a way, it's the Streisand effect. You're letting people know there's something here.
Oh, it must be really hard to retrieve. I'll just pound it. I'll put on a mask, a protective.
I was going to say,
yes. Don't do what I did.
Armor up.
Keep your eyes open.
Get some glasses
Technical
on
specifications.
and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
if you hit it with the hammer, it will, crack them, and that's what you need to do at the very least.
So you're pretty sure it had storage in there?
Yes, I was still able to even retrieve things a few years.
So one thing companies, and Xerox does this, is they sometimes don't tell you. Like they hide the fact that they're storing stuff. There's a lot of copiers have hard drives in them.
Right, I always take all those out.
Yeah. Oh, you're so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're so good.
Well, it's frightening when you think of who has your
right. Oh, it's terrifying.
And things like that.
I know. Well, I'm just telling you, Donna, the next time I need acupuncture. Oh, shoot, I told him what you do. I'll be coming to your place. Hey, it's a pleasure meeting you. Thank you for being a member of the club.
Yeah, well, thank you for having the club. That's a good thing to have. And thank you for Micah and Ant. And
I know.
Your other
Don't we have Jason? Don't we have a great team? We all went out for drinks on Thursday. I was thinking, what a great team we have. I just love every single person who works for us.
Yeah.
Just really wonderful. Yeah. I'm very fortunate.
Yeah.
Yep. I give credit to Lisa because she put together a heck of a team. She really did. Yeah. Thank you, Donna. I hope we'll see you in chat or in the Discord or somewhere on the Mastodon somewhere. We'll chat.
I'll be listening. Okay.
That's it. That's all.
I'll be very listening.
You know what? She's a secret agent. I figured it out.
I think so. Yeah. CIA, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Donna. Well, hey. How are you today? Or ho, should I say. Ho. How are you today, Leo Laporte? Micah Sargent, your tech guy, too. We're here to answer your calls. 8888 Ask Leo. 888-827-5536. Toll free from anywhere in the U.S. or Canada. Website, techguylabs.com. Micah's been pasting stuff in like crazy today.
Yeah, lot to cover.
Lots to cover. Let's see. What else? I have 100 pictures, artificially intelligent pictures of Kim.
Each one of them is an individual personality.
Each one is unique in its own right. Did I send her this one? I hope. Well, let's see. All right. I'm going to send her some more because I made 100 of them.
Wow.
In an attempt to figure out, what's going on with the sexy.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't this time. Not so much anyway. And I think maybe they've improved the algorithm. I would I would have hesitated recommending this program if they hadn't, to be honest with you. It's called Lensa, Lensa. It's on the iPhone. And we'll get Kim's reaction. We'll see how she feels about what we generated. But I think they look pretty good. I think they're nice.
A lot of fun ones. And that was the experience for me. I've liked many of the ones that it generated. But seeing what it did with Lisa's photos on
that was shocking.
I was
shocked, to be honest with you. Shocked, I'll tell you. Shocked. 8888 Ask Leo. Back to the phones we go. And it's Jay from Bellflower, California. Hello, Jay.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello, Leo.
Good to see you.
Good. I'm good. Hey, I have a Lenovo IdeaPad Flex, Flex 5.
Yep.
And I have two issues. First, my touchscreen went out. I've gone online and I've tried into the control panel, and it hasn't come back. So,
yeah, that's not good. That digitizer is a separate layer in the screen. If it goes out, it could be that the circuitry connected to the screen, and this happens a lot in laptops. You got the flexes, right? It can go all the way around, and so there's a ribbon cable connecting the guts of the laptop where all the stuff is that's doing the work to the screen, which is thin and doesn't do a lot of work. That ribbon cable is being flexed, if you will, all the time. Sometimes just that, maybe just one of the pins on that broken, you still see a image, but you can't do the touch screen. If that's the case, that's a cheap fix. That's easy. Not probably anything you can fix yourself, though, because you'd have to open up the machine. I can't think of any. I guess it could be software, but I think it's hardware. Yeah, it feels like hardware. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I have to bring it into a tech place.
Yeah. Now, before you do that, the thing you might check is to see there is a driver, I think, for that touch screen, and maybe that's failed. In other words, let's make sure it's not software. One way to do that is to boot it into a Windows installer disk, or you could even use a Linux installer disk, something other than your hard drive, and see if the touchscreen still doesn't work. If it doesn't, that's almost certainly hardware. But if it does, then it's a driver issue with Windows. You can go into the Windows device drivers and see if, look for yellow checks or with a yellow triangle or a red X next to a driver that is something you'd need. If you click on the Start menu, right-click on it, you can select Device Manager or do Windows key X. You can select Device Manager and see all the devices. I don't remember if a touchscreen has its own. It'd probably be under Human Interface Devices. I'm not sure, though.
If you consider yourself, after you do these software ideas, if you consider yourself handy, I'm including a link in the show notes. iFixit has a full guide on this Lenovo IdeaPad Flex 5, which I'm surprised because this seems like such a obscure, but there's plenty of information about the display assembly, and if it's a matter of just a
I guess you could
cable.
How handy are you, Jay?
I'd say tech light tech.
The nice thing to do is the nice thing about iFixit, which I love, they call it the repair manual for the internet, is if you go there and at least look at what it would take, you can get see whether you feel comfortable with it or not. Mm-hmm. Almost certainly, though, I think, I hate to say it, I think you're going to have to bring this in. Sorry. What was your other question?
The other question is it's failing to recognize my when I connect a mouse. And now when I connect my phone, it's failing to recognize that now.
All the same laptop?
It's on the same laptop. The only thing it recognizes is external hard drives.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, no, there's something going on with that laptop. In fact, that almost sounds like for sure now that it's a hardware issue. Those are all input devices, however, human interface devices. It could be you've got a massive software failure there, but boy, that sure sounds like
sounding hardware.
Look at the device. Look at the device manager. Make sure you don't have any yellow triangles or red X's. But I suspect that it's something a little bit more serious, unfortunately. I'm sorry to say that. But this happens. Laptops especially, they take a kind of a beating. You throw them around. Unlike a desktop PC.
Get a lot of dust inside.
They get shaken and stirred.
Shaken and stirred, exactly.
Yep. Dan is on the line from beautiful Groton, Connecticut, home of the submarine base. Hello, Dan.
Hi, Leo. Thanks for taking my call.
Oh,
and you're
pleasure.
right. I was in Groton. I'm driving, I'm on my way south. So I have
south of Groton.
But you can see the submarines.
All right, there you go. What's up?
Elderly parent question. My father just turned 98.
Oh, wow, that's wonderful. Congratulations.
Doing pretty good for 98.
That's awesome.
But he's getting a hard time, let's say, making phone calls.
Yeah.
He has like a regular, landline and a flip phone. And he, it's like he's got to look up phone calls that he wants to make manually.
Here's something you might try. A lot of seniors like this. The Amazon Echo, you're familiar with it, right?
Yes.
You can have it place calls, and so he could do it with his voice, and he doesn't have to hold anything. The speaker and the microphone and that are usually pretty good. So he can, he could say, Echo, call Dan, and it'll call you, and you say, hi, Dad, and you can talk to him just like you're coming out of that tube.
So, but what is that connected to? I mean, is it
the internet, baby. The magic of the internet. And if you use the Amazon, they don't call it, they have the A word in the app name, which bugs me because I'm trying not to say the A word, but you know who I'm talking about,
right.
ALEXA. If you have the ALEXA app on your phone, you can actually get your contact list in there. I wouldn't put a whole contact list in there. I just put some stuff. Right. He can dial numbers verbally as well. You can also set it up to call 911 if you want. I'm pretty sure, maybe not, but you certainly could call for help. So I would definitely look into that. I think that's a great way to go for seniors. Does he have an Echo? Has he ever used an Echo?
He hasn't, and that's okay.
My mom, who's 90, loves her Echo. She has set an alarm to remind her to take her pills when she turns on the water and is waiting for it to warm up, so she doesn't forget in the shower. She'll say, Echo, remind me to check the shower in 30 seconds. It's surprisingly useful for older folks who have poor short-term memory and maybe some physical challenges. I think there's a lot to be said for it.
And if he's got an AT&T or Verizon account, there actually is the option
to tie to your phone.
Nice.
Number. Nice.
So would that be tied to but again, does it have to be would you plug in the...
You don't have to plug in the cell phone, no. It uses the account, so it'll say, we can ring here as well as that flip
It gives
phone.
him a number, which is nice, so you can call. Yeah. So this is pretty cool. I would look at that for sure. That's a lot easier.
I'll include a link, techguylabs.com, for more information about linking AT&T or Verizon accounts.
Nice. I didn't know you could do that. That's really great.
I have a question about the show notes.
Yes.
You're putting a link in.
Yes.
Because I've tried to look for them sometimes, and I don't know where they are. Are they?
Where are they? I've been wondering that myself, Micah. So here's what happens. Show notes. Where do you go?
Whenever you type in techguylabs.com, what happens is the URL is going to redirect you to our page, The Tech Guy. When you go to that page, you will see a list. By scrolling down, you'll see a list of our episodes, 1950, 1949, 1948. You find the number, which this one is 1951. It will be there. And when you click on that specific episode, you just scroll down, you'll see all of the headlines of the articles that we covered and then all of the links to the different things. So you can actually do a shortcut. You can type in techguylabs.com and then /1951 in this case, and that will redirect you
Nice.
to where you need to go.
We'll put a link in there, too, to a service Amazon offers called Alexa Together. Oh, I said
You
it.
said it?
Echo Together, a remote caregiving service to help care for those you love. It's $20 a month, but it offers check-in, activity check-ins. It's designed for seniors. It's got 24/7 urgent response.
Fall detection.
Fall
as well.
detection. And apparently you can do yoga with it. That's what's in the video. I don't know what they're doing. But it also lets you know what activities Dad is using his Echo for. So you can kind of keep an eye. That's, by the way, the simplest value of that is to know Dad is up and about and is moving around, and I think that's hugely valuable. We're going to take a little break. 8888 Ask Leo is the phone number. When we come back, it's a visit from Santa. No, not Santa. Somebody much like Santa. A guy named Rich DeMuro joins us with some holiday gadgets next. Hello, Rich.
Hello. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you great. You're actually in a room with a microphone. You're not sitting in a car with a microphone taped to your cheek. This is good. Is this where you're going to do the show?
This is not where I'm doing the show.
Did you hear what happened? That you got?
No.
So
what?
So Laura, can I tell him? He saw the studio. You're in the, what's his name, studio? You're in the Colin Cowherd studio. The Colin Cowherd Memorial Studio. Colin died in that studio. Not literally.
My God.
Not literally. Metaphorically. No, he doesn't use it, but when he's in town, I guess he uses it. But apparently that's why it's dusty. She says it's about the worst studio we have.
Oh, so perfect.
You might ask for a better one. But they may be planning to fix it up, put in some carpeting and some nice lights, something like
Probably
that.
Probably
not. I want him to take care of you, Rich.
Well,
Take care of my friend Rich here, buddy. Take care of him.
Fine. It's all good.
It's all good, man.
Hey, if you can keep him from installing lights, then you're less likely to have to do video. So maybe that's worth it.
Yeah, apparently it's kind of dim.
Did your kids win the basketball game? How do they know that my kids are in the basketball game?
Because you said so on the car.
Oh, yeah. No, my kid is playing basketball right now. He actually made the championship. So, yes,
you got to tell the world about that.
So, well, they just lost. I was watching it on. So, full disclosure, I've got COVID, and so I'm homebound.
Oh no, Rich.
And so I had to. But anyway, a coach actually he live streamed the game, which was amazing.
Oh,
so he just
that's great.
held up his phone on Facebook, and I watched the whole game from home. It was amazing.
Oh, how fun! What? Is this high school?
No, this is just fun weekend stuff.
Nice. Is your wife now okay with you working?
No, we were just realizing today how it's going to be really interesting. Yeah.
Tell me about it. So, 19 years, my friend.
Yep.
My daughter was 11 when I started. My son was 9.
Wow.
Now they're
full grown. Well, that's actually how old my kids are. Mm-hmm. They're 8 and 11. Mm-hmm. So, and now they're having kids of their own. You said, huh?
Exactly, Grandpa. Yeah, that's all right. You're gonna have a great time. It's so much fun to do it.
Wait, what? Is that true? Did I miss that?
What?
Oh, okay. I was like, I did not hear that you're going to be a grandpa.
No, God, no.
That scared me.
Heaven forfend.
I was just kidding.
Oh, I'm too young to be a grandpa. No, I'm not.
Yeah. So anyway, all's good here.
I'm sorry, you're sick. You don't seem like you're feeling poorly.
No, I'm not. So
good. So it's a very mild case. I'm glad to hear
legalities.
that.
I had a pretty like a fever the first day, and my wife actually got it at the same exact time.
Oh yeah.
So something we did. I don't know what it was.
In a way, that's good, because the worst thing, and I had this happen, is if your spouse gets it and you don't, or vice versa. Yep. And now you're going, I'm going to get it. How do you not get it?
Yeah. Well, I didn't last time. She got it last year, and I did not get it. So,
wow.
That's what happened with me.
This time, I think we were both at the same thing, and I don't know. Who knows what happened?
I'm sorry. That sucks.
Anyway, we were at a Rams game.
Johnny Jett got it too.
Wow. Johnny Jett got it?
Yeah, everybody's got it. Oof. Everybody's getting it. It's the new thing.
Johnny Jett has it now, or he got it?
Yeah, he just got over it, or is getting over it.
He just got over it.
He took Paxlovid. He got it. He was really feeling
Oh,
poorly.
wow.
Yeah.
I took an Advil.
Probably better. Santa Claus being Rich DeMuro of KTLA, Rich on Tech, and the author of this fine book, 101 Handy Tech Tips for the iPhone, My Christmas Gift Guide. That's it. It's over. Get this book, and it's over. But, Rich, you have more. Hi, Rich.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. Happy Saturday to you.
This is
it
your
is the holidays.
one of your last Saturdays, my friend.
Well, it's the beginning of a new crop of Saturdays, I guess.
A little bit different. Rich is going to be taking over the show January 7th. And you'll be doing in this time slot right here.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
11 to 2 Pacific. It'll be exciting. It'll be fun. I've listened to you for many, many years, Leo, and obviously I filled in for you for a bit. So I'm looking forward to it's just continuing the legacy here. Let's hope.
So I wanted you to do some holiday gifts because I hate doing gift guides. I hate it. And I refused. My wife said, "Are you going to do a gift guide this year?" I said, "No. We're going to have Rich DeMuro do the gift guide this year." So it's on you. But fortunately, I'm looking at your website. It's loaded with good stuff.
I'm telling you, here's the thing. This is my secret weapon in everything is the viewer emails. Because, Leo, like the viewer calls you get or the listener calls, when you've got that pulse on like what people are asking for and you hear the same thing over and over, you kind of know what people are looking for. So, all right, first thing that I love is this Aura digital photo frame. You've probably talked about this on the show. It is the #1 gift to give because it's such a crowd pleaser. They make them in several different styles. And what's great about this frame is that it's a digital photo frame that takes a photo from your phone and puts it on, let's say you give this to your significant or your grandparents, whatever. The photo from your phone can show up right on their frame through Wi-Fi. You don't have to put any USB drives or anything into it. And literally, this was the gift we got everyone last year because for grandparents, for anyone across the miles, it is such a fantastic thing. And it's super easy.
AURA.
And the app is well designed. It's just a really slick experience.
Nice.
And so when you take a great picture, you can immediately go into the Aura app and you can send it right to the frame, or you can even email it. And you can share this with friends and family so you can all give them access to the frame. So
you know this because you have cute kids and everybody wants to see them. So that's a good thing.
It's
you have
kind
a
of
lot
like,
of gadgets here. Holy cow. You've been busy.
Let's see. What else?
You've
If
been
something
busy.
catches your eye, let me know.
Now, I went to this went to your website and then it took me to Amazon. Is that the best way to do that?
So if you go to richontech.tv, look for Rich Recommends.
Rich
All
Recommends.
right, let's go down to these Nord buds. People always, we always hear about the AirPods and all these expensive earbuds. These OnePlus Nord buds down at the bottom there, $39.99, and they are some of the best earbuds I've ever tested at this price tag. So $40 for a great pair of wireless earbuds. And here's why I know they're good, Leo. We put these on TV, we put them on KTLA, and of course I tried them out myself and I fell in love with them. I said, this is fantastic for $40. But when people bought them and I started getting emails from people, everyone said, "Rich, I love these things. I love these things." I think I got one email from someone that said I didn't like them. And so I can easily recommend these. They don't have all the frilly features, like there's no noise cancellation or anything like that, but they're just a great pair of inexpensive headphones that, I'm not kidding, for $40 you will be so impressed.
No kidding. I mean, the other ones like Apple's are $250. They're crazy expensive. So this is nice.
Some of them could be very, very expensive. Okay, let's see. What else do you want to talk about? Let's go back to that page there. Okay.
You got 2 minutes, Rich. By the way, I will give you. I have something for you. This little bit of software that I use, which tells me, "Stop talking, Leo. Laura wants to play some songs or something." I will send you this so that you can use
need
it.
that software.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Let's go to this. Okay, so let's say you're on the higher end of things. You have the iPhone, you have the Apple Watch, you've got a pair of wireless earbuds like AirPods. This STM Charge Tree Go is my absolute favorite thing for travel because it charges everything all at once. And now it is a little bit more expensive. It's over $100, but the quality of this device I found is way better than some of the really cheap knockoffs that you see on Amazon.
Yeah, there's some really crappy, and I love this because you could put this by your bed, right? And then you've got everything charging in one place. So it's one of those all-in-one stands for your phone, It looks like it even does the AirPods. That's great.
Yeah,
And
it'll do
your
everything.
watch.
But the great thing about this, and I'd probably recommend a cheaper one maybe for your bed that's going to be fixed. This one, what's so great about it is that you plug in one plug and you can bring it for travel and it folds down flat. I mean, it's super easy.
So this is Lisa brings a very big Nomad charging thing that weighs about 10 pounds. When we travel, this would be so much better. I'll get this for her for Christmas. That's
so much
good.
better. Do we have time for one more?
One more.
Okay. Okay. You know what? I'm going to recommend. I think you'd like this, Leo. Have you had a laser pointer in a while?
We had to take it away from the kid. He was, so I have one now. Yes.
So my kid found this laser pointer. He did all of his own research, and he said, "Dad, can I please have a laser pointer?" And I said, "Fine."
You're taking your chances, buddy.
Yeah, you're gonna shoot your eye out. All this stuff.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding. This laser pointer he found, it's less than $20. It is the coolest thing ever. When I was a kid, this is the kind of stuff that I wanted.
Is this the deny buy long range green laser pointer? That is it. Rich tomorrow, richontech.tv for all of these. And we'll see you next week. And then brand new next year, the Rich on Tech Show. Thank you, Rich.
Thank you.
She's playing the magic music, which means we got to stop talking. I hate it when that happens.
Well,
Thank you.
All right, so I got to figure out how to time the show. You're going to send me this software.
I will send you this software.
Tablet.
Windows or Mac? Which do you use?
I'll probably be using Mac.
I'll send you both. In fact, I have a small one. So the one I use, let me show you the screen so you can see. You can have it it's on your computer screen. And what button is the computer? There. And so it's pretty big. You could see because that's.
Oh, perfect.
And then it just tells you. And so what it tells you when we're blue, we're in commercials. When it's green, you can be talking. And then a minute beforehand, it starts to count you down, and when it turns red, and then that's when you got to stop talking. So it just helped. It helped. Perfect. I wrote this because it's like I was so bad at hitting. I just could never hit the brakes. So this is useful. But I have a littler one for a laptop. I gave Micah. Micah has the little one. I can make it any size you want. I can change the colors. I'll make it say Rich's Showtime. I'll make it change so it's just for you. And if you have any suggestions,
now maybe this a little. Maybe it's a little inside baseball, but if you have 3 minutes, can you explain the brakes to me?
Yeah. Let me go to the KFI.
No, but basically the brakes. There's 2 brakes that you have to hit hard, and then 2 that you don't. Right?
But I hit 3 hard because if I don't do that, I'm in trouble at the end of the hour. So what I do is the floater is the first brake, which is somewhere around quarter after, and that can float. Okay. Although if it gets too late, Laura will play the music because then you won't have enough time when you come back to say something. It'll have to hit the next commercial break. So you can't float too much. You can float a few minutes.
Got it.
All of this is in that clock. Bottom of the hour, it's fixed. And she'll play that sounder. And there's the thing to know about the sounder, the little, the da-da-da-da, is there's a stab in it. And that's actually covering up the tone that's sent to automated stations to start the commercials. So you can't talk past that stab. We just did, you and I. So on some stations, it'll cut us off in mid-sentence. Most stations, KFI doesn't do it. But
and this is all in the handbook you're sending me?
Yeah. I'll put this in the giant binder I've prepared. And then
perfect.
Maybe the first day or two I'll come in and coach you.
Oh, perfect.
And then it only took me 18 years to figure it all out. And then the quarter of is a floater technically. I would try to stay on time. And in fact, I tell Laura, hit that sounder for that one. Because otherwise, if you let that one slip, you don't have anywhere to go. You're screwed. And then top hour is fixed as well. And so the clock is a little deceptive. They're going to actually sell your show. So you may even have live read ads. And so that changes things a little bit with when you get out or not. So the top of the hour can change. But I will send you a timer that does all the things you need to try to hit. And my advice is try to stay on time. That's my hardest thing.
Well,
but you've done this show many times. You've done this.
It'll be great. It'll be fun. I have you on text, so I will text you when I need the help.
Seriously, can. All right, I got to run.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right.
Hey.
Bye-bye.
Oh, no, I guess I didn't have to run. I'm still here.
Oh, well, I'm still here.
I thought I had to run. That's the other thing the clock is great for.
Okay.
To let you know, I got 49 seconds before I have to talk. So that's really actually quite handy.
Well, I've got 5 more days at home, so
yeah, go
I'm
have
here
your
all
days
day.
at home,
Okay,
please. I beg of you.
I'll see y'all later.
All right, feel better.
I've
Bye.
watched more movies. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
That is George Clooney's mom, back from 1951. And this is good. You get double bonus for this one, Laura, because it's not only a song from the year 51. This is, of course, the episode 1951. By the way, that made it very hard back in the 19th century to play any music. But finally, we're in the modern times, and it's a holiday song. So you got them both. She's tapping on the window. I have to be honest. I don't want anybody tapping on my window.
Please don't.
I don't care if you're bringing presents. Stay away from my window. 8888 Ask Leo. That's the phone number. Micah Sargent, Leo Laporte. Another half hour to go on the Tech Guy Show. Larry is on the line from Monrovia, California. Hi, Larry.
Hi, Leo. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm okay. Actually, I have a nickname for you, Leo the Sport.
Because I'm so sporty.
Exactly.
Yes.
At any rate, I'm having a problem. I just bought a new Galaxy phone, but I'm required to return my old phone. And I have a lot of important text messages that I would like to upload to Google Drive or something like that to back it up. And
do you want to? You could move it to the new phone. In fact, when you first got the new phone, you had the opportunity to do that. But you can also back them up. Do you use the old phone a Samsung as well?
Yes, it is.
And you use the Samsung Messages app when you do it?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Correct.
So it's fairly easy to do this. You can get a third-party program. In fact, if you search in the Play Store, you'll see a bunch of them if you just look for text and backup. There's even manual ways to do this without getting a third-party program. But since you want to put it on a computer, I think I would use a third-party program and export it into a file, and that way you can have it on the computer.
There used to be one, and back in 2013, I was able to do that, and it went into my Google Gmail.
Yeah, that was the old way. Yeah, I remember that one. They would mail it to you. Yeah, so let me recommend one that doesn't do that.
Okay.
It's not so great. The one I use is SMS. It's simply called SMS Backup and Restore. The company's SyncTech, SYNCTECH. I've used this for years. It does not use email. It also encrypts the data as it goes off your phone, which is actually pretty nice. That's a new feature.
It's Backup and Restore, because I was using Backup Plus.
Yeah, there's about 8,000 of these programs. That's why I didn't pick one. But since you don't want this Gmail thing, I would just, this will back up to, one of the things this will do is back up to a cloud drive, which...
that's what I want to do.
Yeah, that's the easiest, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Then I'd want to view it on my computer.
Right. You always have a copy. Yep. You'll always have a copy. Yep.
The Samsung, what they wanted to do was back it up to your new phone, and the new phones have less memory than the old phones, so you get clogged up with 10 years worth of old.
So you didn't do that. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is if you just want to move it to the phone, that's part of the install process. Yeah, I understand that. SMS Backup and Restore will back it up to a cloud drive where you can get it forever. And it doesn't care, you don't, messages aren't huge. So even if you had a gigabyte of messages, that might be too much for your phone, but it's not too much for a cloud storage at all.
Exactly. Okay, I will try that one.
All right.
How it works.
Give it a shot. Let me know if it works well for you. Chat room. Are they actually recommending SMS Plumber, or is that a joke? That must be a joke.
I think that was a joke
because it got clogged up.
I saw SMS Backup and Restore that you mentioned.
Yeah, from SyncTech.
A couple of times.
Yeah,
so.
that's the one I've used for a long time. So I know that works pretty well. They should. I feel like Android should have a way to do that. I think they do have a. Let's see. If you go to backup under your Android device, I have my Pixel here. I think you can back up SMS messages, but it depends. The problem is if you're on Samsung, I don't know where it goes. On a Pixel phone, let me just look. I think it goes to Google. It goes to Google Drive, right? So under the, again, this is the problem with Android is everybody's got different, system, the names of the system settings and everything is different. It's not like an iPhone where everybody's got the same phone. Let me see. For under system backup, I'm paying for backup by Google One.
Google One, yeah.
But there is an SMS and messages, 16 megabytes, that is being backed up to my Google One. I don't know if that's because I pay for Google One or not, but that goes to my Google Drive. It also backs up apps, photos and videos, call history, device settings, Google account data. That's really
what I'm
handy.
using on my Pixel is Google One backup.
So Google One is their all-in-one subscription where you get storage and other things as well. And I guess that's
it's kind of a bummer that I wonder if you can use it without paying for it. Just the backup part.
Because you have, what is it, 15 gigs free on Google Drive? There is, I don't know. I could turn it off, but I'm afraid to.
Something,
it says your device backs up automatically over Wi-Fi after it's been idle and charging for 2 hours. In other words, overnight, basically overnight. So that is built in, but it's not as flexible, perhaps. Not as flexible. 8888 asks, actually, if you have a good solution, let us know. We can help Larry out. Let's go to Joe in Santa Barbara. Hello, Joe.
Hey, Leo.
We're great. How are you, Joe?
I tried to get in last week on Sunday because it was 1950, and that's the year I was born.
Nice. I don't think we're going to make it to my birth date. It's 1956. We're going to fall just a few shows short. I think one show short.
Right.
But we're going to keep just for that reason, by the way, we're going to keep the numbering on the podcast. So the first podcast will be my birth year, 1956. That'll confuse people. What can I do for you, Joe?
Before the question, I want to make a recommendation for you. I retired about 10 years ago, and we started traveling, and we couldn't be happier. And so COVID hit, and that kind of stopped us. But I would like to recommend you because I know you like to travel. Just travel as much as you can.
Oh, believe me, that's the plan.
Really
I think some people don't feel that way. Micah, you've never been out of the country, but for me, and I think you feel the same way, Joe, going to see a new country, new people, taste new food, see sights, that's to me the most invigorating thing there is. And I'm looking forward to that.
And it's, you don't have to do anything exotic. Even you can just we, a couple 3 years, we drove cross country, and took 2 months. And
I would like to do that. I don't know if my wife would. She doesn't want to be stuck in a motorhome with me for more than a day. I think
we never did motorhome.
Oh, you stayed in hotels. Oh, that's clever. Hotels. There you go.
And it's make it a little more convenient. Anyway, my question is, I have a MacBook Air, an external drive that I use for a backup. And I upgraded to OS Catalina, and now the external drive doesn't work.
Micah, I'm going to make you do this one. You're the Mac OS guy.
Yeah, this is when you say the external drive doesn't work, can you tell me a little bit more about what that means for you?
Well, I what they said was that the external drive needs to be
reformatted.
Yeah, reformatted.
So it must have been formatted in a way that for some reason Catalina doesn't read. I mean, it should read everything, the old stuff. I've never seen that.
No, unless it's an error.
It must have been
of some
damaged.
Sort. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking is something got damaged there.
But let's get the brain trust on this one for you, Joe. I'm not sure what's going on. Probably it's unrecoverable, and you have to format it.
You could use a drive recovery system of some sort to see.
The GizWiz. Next.
Oh, that's... I thought we'd already gone to break.
Now you can say that.
So I plugged in a hard drive that wasn't connecting to anything, Windows or Mac, into the Linux machine that you gave me. And I was able to pull it up there and then get everything off of it and then format it. And then it worked for my Mac. So
that's interesting.
It's just, that's a tough thing because not everybody has a Linux machine sitting around, or like a Raspberry Pi or something like
or
that.
PC.
Yeah, or
some other
PC.
machine maybe could read it.
Yeah, that's going to be what I would suggest more than anything else is try plugging it into a different type of operating system to see if it's not that it's, Mac OS, or if it's not the drive itself, if it's just Mac OS not being able to read it for whatever reason. Because you said it's pretty old, so it could have been, what is it, Master Boot Record versus the other one whose name escapes me at the moment. And if it's formatted in exFAT or
oh man, I had the weirdest problem. I took a computer from work that was no longer in use for Michael, and I wanted to wipe it and start over, and I stupidly chose MBR, Master Boot Record, to format it, and it would not install OS 10 on it. It has to be Mac GUID. It has to be a GUID formatted drive, which is one of 3 choices. They don't tell you that ahead of time.
Right. They don't. That's the annoying thing is that they don't tell you.
So I formatted it wrong, and then it still wouldn't do it. And I figured, it's got to be APFS. So I went through several bouts of trying to install OS 10. I finally, but if you make it a GUID, I think was GPT GUID partition table.
Yes, that's right. It's GPT versus
MBR.
Yeah, MBR, and then
use APFS to format it.
Yep.
Which they don't tell you anywhere. That's how it likes it. And somebody's saying in the chat room, which is true, Time Machine wants APFS at 2 now. So APFS is the future. Disco time! Woo! Everybody dance. Okay, now girls dance. Okay, now boys dance. Okay, now Dick D. Bartolo dances. Hello, Dickie D.
Leo, how you doing?
Mad Magazine's maddest writer and a disco fool. Okay, Kim, I'm sending you pictures. Say okay. It's going to send Kim all of the AI-generated images of her. Have you been playing with that, Dick, yet?
No, I have not.
Got to make some AI-generated Dick D. Bartolos.
That would be fantastic.
I'll send you some.
That, please.
I'm making it for everybody.
Yeah. Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, okay,
ho, ho, ho.
good.
Merry Christmas. This is your gift.
What happened to the rest of Santa Claus in your hand?
It got chopped off at the
Was that
waist.
some sort of a terrible accident?
This is a Santa mug. And
half Santa,
but it's only from the belt down.
Yeah,
I'm sure the other half is somewhere.
They do have. You could get a head or the legs.
Oh, you had your choice.
Yeah.
The thing about this, I'm not sure if I like it. Is the boots are hollow, so it holds more coffee, but it's harder to clean.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Dishwasher.
Yeah, but
friendly,
the top half has the presents.
Dick, do you recognize?
Yeah, is that
this?
Familiar to you?
I have the new Fire Clock Mister from whoever.
Yoko Labono.
Yeah, yes.
Yoko Labono.
Exactly. Is it fired up?
I got 2 of the small ones for gifts for some people. They arrived in the
I
mail.
did too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting those.
I sent out a couple of those too.
There we go.
There you go.
I had to turn on the light.
They're just
It's
great.
a really neat idea.
It's a great way to warm up your coffee. It's really good.
Yeah,
Santa
we did
coming down the
s'mores
chimney.
over them earlier.
Yeah. We're talking about last week's GizWiz pick of the day, which was a humidifier that looks like it's on fire, but it's great.
Yeah,
it's
really
fire.
cool.
I love it. What do you got for us today?
That's a good trade name, humidifier.
Oh,
they should have called it. Let's
I can sell this one
really quick.
Anybody who wants a humidifier?
Yeah. Okay, little LED projector. And the funny thing is, I had done this on GizWiz, and when I was looking for info on it for the website, I found something I like better, so I'm going to talk about that. So it's a little LED projector. It's waterproof, so you can use it and shine it on your house. And then you can pick it. There are 2 projection lenses. One of them is a background color, and then the other lens will be rotating snowflakes or Santa Claus or a reindeer. But what I found better is that there's one, and that's the one I put on my website, that you can actually change slides in the one side of the projector. So you can put in a 4th of July slide or a happy birthday slide, which will be like clowns and birthday gifts that will travel around. So it's just a real easy way to shine on a wall or on your house and have like some instant decorations. And like the little humidifier, I paid $26 for mine. It only came 2 hours ago, so I just made a quickie video so that you could see that it's kind of a very effective little way to decorate a wall or a ceiling.
You're going to turn your apartment into the disco boat that you sold, aren't you?
Yeah,
this
I'm
is
slowly
your secret
doing
ambition.
that. I'm slowly doing that. That big, yeah. And then the little slides, some of the slides.
We call that in the
wonky,
business, that's called a gobo.
A gobo, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is like an undersea gobo.
Oh, look at dolphins and octopuses and giant. What the?
And,
there's a megalodon. Watch out, Dick. Oh, no. Sorry. I got overexcited. That's cool.
No, that's okay. Yeah, it's really.
So do you
great
leave this
fun.
on at night in your bedroom to make you feel better?
No, you know what? But that watery thing, I did have a C projector that I used to have in my bedroom, but I'm using the fireplace now in the bedroom, so I like it the bedroom dark, and that little mini humidifier in there.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, my whole world is.
Now you're projecting on a piece of wood or something. Could you project on the wall? I mean,
yes, that's what it's made for. I projected it on the ceiling. I can fill the whole ceiling. I mean, this room is not big. It's probably 16 by 20
that's
feet.
Cool.
But the ceiling's white, so that
it makes a perfect backdrop. So you can aim it at anything. Of course, white will work
at
better.
anything. If you have a white house, you have some white space on the side of your house. This is just a way to look like you've done some decorating, like in 5 minutes to set this thing up. What is that?
The humidifier alarm just went off. I don't know. Is it? Should I be worried?
Oh no! You know, you must have the clock must have been set for an alarm time.
Yeah. Maybe that's the alarm saying it's time for Dick DiBartolo. I don't know.
I think it is. Yeah. I'll
give this to
Amazon
Rich.
presets them. Yeah.
I'll leave it for Rich. He's gonna come into the studio, and boy, is he gonna be amazed at all the junk.
Oh my! You know what? Remember ThinkGeek?
Yes, I loved ThinkGeek. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they had a device, and they wanted me to do it, and I said, "What are you, crazy?" It was a tiny little device that made beeps like that.
Made beep?
You were supposed beeps.
Oh, beeps.
Little beeps.
Beeps.
Yeah. And you were supposed to, when you visit someone, throw it behind their couch.
Oh, that's going to drive them crazy.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I told them. I said, you know what? I have a wall of gadgets, and when I hear that beep, that means
you don't know where it is.
I have days.
You're like at a Swiss clock shop at midnight. There's no way to stop it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then I always thought it's kind of weird when the battery's going to die, it beeps.
Yeah, like that narrows it down.
Well, yes. Yeah, exactly.
Those smoke alarm beeps, you can't echolocate those. You just know there's a beep. You don't know where it's coming from.
Exactly. And when one goes off in the hallway, it takes a long time to find out what floor it's on.
Tell me about it. Oh, that's why you have to go around the house and change it every time the clock changes, so you don't. Yeah. Because of course, inevitably, that's going to beep in the middle of the night, and it's going to make you crazy. And your wife's going to make you get up at 3 a.m, get on a very tall ladder, and change the batteries. I'm not speaking specifically
of anybody you know.
Anybody I know.
All right.
But boy, I was very unhappy that night.
But it could be someone in your house.
It could be somebody in my house. This is the LED projector equipped with 2 heads for 10 RGBW color with a water rave ripple effect and 14 winter themed slide patterns. But it's not just winter, so you could have it all year round.
Yeah, exactly.
$26.
Halloween slide. Yeah, I know. Stuff is amazing.
If you want to get that, or cheap. My little fire humidifier, the flame diffuser humidifier, that and everything he's ever mentioned over the last 20 years of the Tech Guy show is on this site, gizwiz.biz, gizwiz.biz. Click the button that says the GizWiz visits the Tech Guy. Right below it, though, after you've browsed and bought, go to the What the Heck Is It contest, because it's almost up. We got 3 more weeks before the end of the year to identify this gizmo or gadget and get in the running for 6 autographed copies of Mad Magazine if you get it right. 18 if you get it, or 12 if you get it wrong. Do we know what Mad you're playing for yet?
We're playing for the February issue of Mad,
which is not out yet, so we can't show you.
Which just came out this week, so you'll have yours by next Saturday.
Oh, Dick is so nice. That's so nice.
For our final show, right?
Our final show. Although, if I were Mr. Rich Tomorrow, I would get this cat on here. I'm sending him all the names of all those wonderful people who do the radio show with us, because I'm really hoping he will get you, pick you up, as they say in the business, right? I got picked up. Yeah. Season 20 of the Giz Wiz. Dick D. Bartolo does a great podcast, too, at gizwiz.tv, website gizwiz.biz. Dickie D, have a great week.
Thank you. You too, sir.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks to Micah Sargent for filling in today.
Happy to.
This is your last Saturday. No, one more.
One more Saturday.
One more Saturday.
Yeah.
Then you and I will do it on the internet only.
On the internet at twit.tv/live.
Thanks, Professor Laura, Kim Schaffer. Thanks to all of you. Have a great Geek Week. Bye-bye. Well, that's it for the Tech Guy Show for today. Thank you so much for being here. And don't forget, TWIT, T-W-I-T. It stands for This Week in Tech, and you'll find it at twit.tv, including the podcasts for this show. We talk about Windows on Windows Weekly, Macintosh on Mac Break Weekly, iPads, iPhones, Apple Watches on iOS Today, security on Security Now. I mean, I can go on. And, of course, the big show every Sunday afternoon, This Week in Tech. You'll find it all at twit.tv. And I'll be back next week with another great Tech Guys show. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time.